Now it's actually bingo. Should be there.
I want to mute my mic just in case it's not muted. Okay, it's muted. There you go. You're on, buddy. Very cool.
Yeah, you get these things from time to time. But anyway, I did hit it, and I was like, why didn't it flip over? And I kept watching and watching. But I guess it's just one of those things that you have to work out on your first live stream.
Heck yeah.
That's for sure. So anyway, glad that you all can make it. I did see Whiskey Samurai had popped in there, so thanks for joining. But like I was saying earlier, some of you have heard, some of you didn't. There's some people that I wanted to thank that kind of give me the inspiration to do this channel. And they all had the right idea. Everybody in the last month was working for a way to come up with more of an inviting type of environment to get people to talk about bourbon, to talk about whiskey, to talk about Scotch. But it didn't make a difference what level you were, let's use that term, as to what your experience was, and what you like to drink or not like to drink. And we all were talking about that we want everyone to feel welcome, and we wanted more of a lounge type of an atmosphere. Hence gave me the idea for this Bourbon Neophyte Lounge, which if you guys are all part of like Livewire Whiskey, Scotch Down Under, Whiskey Nose, they kind of all do the same thing, the same type of format, to where, hey, we have a little bit of structure, but after we're done with the structured part, we want to open it up to the people in chat if they physically want to join the stream. If they want to be a part of it, we want to welcome them. We don't care what your experience is or not. Some of you may not even want to drink. You just want to have a cup of coffee. It makes no difference. Reason why we all started this is because we have a passion or a like for distilled spirits. We enjoy the different spirits for the craft that they can be, that the distillers put into these bottles. And so we like to sit back and we like to have a drop or two, and we like to discuss it. And some people think it's the best. Some people think it's mediocre. Some people think it's not worth anything. But, these people were pretty darn instrumental in making me do this. I don't say making, they didn't force me, but help me shape the idea for what I want to do, and to come up with this channel and have a way that we all can just sit back, relax, pour a drink, and discuss bourbon, discuss whiskey, discuss Scotch. We don't care. I'm not a Scotch person per se. I don't know much about it. However, I do know there are some people on there that like Scotch. Well, great. Then you can contribute on that end. There's some people that are really big into American whiskeys or Canadian whiskeys. Great. When we get onto a subject or you have something to say, everyone is welcome, no matter what it is that or what it is that your experience level is. This lounge is going to be open to everybody. And I do want to have certain guests come on that I want to talk about their experiences. In other words, what got them into bourbon? What was their thing that turned them from the normal Jim Beam or Jack Daniels or, Fireball shots that said, hey, I'm done with this. Let's try a bourbon for the true craft that it is and start experiencing this world of bourbon whiskey. So with that, being said, I want to thank Mike for popping on, because I know he's a very busy person, but he made it. Jim Morris, I just see him pop up in the chat. And then, of course, Stanley Mashbill was in there. Bourbon, I was talking to him back and forth today. He's in there. So that's really great. And then I have some other friends I know who popped on from Ohio and a few other places. So thanks to them for popping on. But Mike, what are you drinking tonight? I saw something in the glass. I didn't pour one yet. I'm getting ready.
So I started. You and I kind of talked beforehand. So yeah. I just kind of started to get everything going. This is Whiskey Nose.
That's from Marty.
Yeah, his Dickel. So I thought that would kind of get me started. I've been dealing with a work fire where Customer could have.
And he
taken
doesn't mean
themselves
literally
down.
a fire.
Yeah, no. Customer could have been taking themselves down, and in a data center, that's a bad thing. But
Yes.
we're working on that. But I did go get this because you told me what you got. Now this is 3, not 4.
Oh, I was like, wait a minute. Yeah, but it's the same. Hold on. Now this is the 4, but it's the same label.
Yep, it looks very.
Well,
yeah,
yours
pretty
is
much.
purple. This is a blue, but I mean,
Yeah.
it's really close.
Super close. I do have a Discovery 4, so I figure if I have a little of the Fusion 3 and the Discovery 4, it is kind of like
Discovery 4.
Yeah, it's kind of like the Fusion 4 you're going to
Absolutely.
pop. So
Yeah. So, being that you said that, will.
John Giltner.
oh, John, yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, okay. Let me just say this. I'm not going to throw any stones, but he and I went to college together. So,
Oh, okay.
same fraternity. So, anyway, yeah, he won't throw any stones and I won't throw any boulders. Let's put it that way.
That's right.
That's right. He knows exactly what I'm talking about. As a matter of fact, he was just here a little more than a month ago, and we met up with his wife, my wife and I, and we had dinner with them. He comes out a couple times a year, and we chat. Sometimes these bottles can be the hardest thing to open.
So for the record, I've never had a Fusion series. So I was like, yeah, I want to get one.
Well, I have Fusion 3, so you know what? Hold on. Since you're opening that first, I'm going to set my 4 back. I didn't open 3, but here's 3. Fusion 3 in the Bardstown. I'll open it and drink it with you for the first little taste.
Did you
here.
see Stanley still didn't say hi? And I even said hi to Stanley.
Well, he's probably floating around on a couple of different channels all at the same time. He's quite popular.
Yeah, he's a pretty big deal.
He is. I mean, it's the mash bill. Come on.
He is, yeah.
He actually gave up his time today to come and visit us, and he was hunting today for JD Bourbon Approach.
Ooh, that was a good pop, too.
I heard that. I didn't even open mine yet.
I tried to get it close to the mic so people could hear it, and I love the sound, even though I know it doesn't really come across quite as well. There we go. Well, let me see. I got my
Now, that was a pop. As ADHD whiskey would say, America.
I say Western U.S. Just kidding.
Well,
I say Rockies, not Colorado Rockies, like, the baseball team. Sorry, Big League Bourbon, because I'm boycotting them. But I could say Avalanche.
You could.
Avalanche, #1 seed.
So
I'm going to let this air a little bit.
yeah, I was just going to say, I'm going to set it down. I can actually, it smells pretty darn good.
I know. I'm coming off the Dickel, though, so that doesn't
sound right, but that's okay.
I know. Yeah.
That does not sound
I'm taking a break from the Dickel.
But anyway, while you're there, let me just tell you guys, if you don't know anything about Bardstown Bourbon and what it is, it is a blend of MGP and then Bardstown's own juice. So you've got 40% Kentucky MGP, which is a 13-year bourbon. Its mash bill on that one is 74% corn, 18% rye, and 8% malted barley. 18% is Bardstown's juice because they've been making it now long enough to start using some of their own distillate in these bottles. So get my glasses on here, the way they got the right on here. Okay, 18% is 3-year juice consisting of 68% corn, 20% wheat, and 12% malted barley. The other 42% is a 3-year juice from Bardstown, so their own juice. Yeah, I can't see that any better than this, but that's good.
Well, I just thought that way they could see it. Yeah, go ahead.
They know what I'm reading. Yeah. corn is at 60%, rye is 36%, malted barley is 4%. So this has a decent amount of rye in it. So just by reading this, I'm going to get that it's going to have some nice rye spice with some sweetness right off the bat. Now we've got some wheat in there, so I'm going to expect, and I didn't read the little tab that comes with it. I didn't do it. But I'm going to say we're definitely going to get some caramel. We're definitely going to get some probably dark fruits in this, without a doubt. And I'm no connoisseur when it comes to describing all the notes in bourbon, but I know that this is decent juice because I've had the 2 and I've been working on the Fusion 2 for a little bit now. And it is a green apple bomb with rye spice on there. Really good bottle. Really, really good bottle.
Cheers, Samurai.
The color, if you take a look at this, it's not bad. It's a little light. It's a nice amber color on this Fusion 3. It still smells good. I mean, it's like I said, I'm not really nosing it or taking the time to do it, but I mean, it's really got a nice note to it. Just holding it here. I'm letting it air up, as some people will say, making it dizzy, letting it open up in the glass for a few. Oh yeah, definitely smell the sweetness. Little ethanol on there. What proof are we at? 98.9 proof. So it's 49.4 ABV.
It's almost body temp.
Yeah, almost. 98.9. You
hot.
might say it's a slight fever.
Yeah.
I'm definitely getting
That's
a little
COVID.
sweetness. Definitely getting a little fruit. Maybe, I don't know, like a fig, date, something. But anyway, it's not bad. It's not unpleasant. I just hope some of these notes transfer through to the palate.
What's up, survival scientist?
Woohoo. Oh, yes.
For the record, Anthony, you're pulling 11 people watching right now.
Yep.
With ADHD and Ken live. So,
and you know what? Ken's didn't show up.
Oh, did he not start yet?
Online.
He may not be on yet. Yeah.
Well, he should be. It's 10 o'clock on the East Coast. So he's doing a 24-hour stream and he has it in 3 parts. So when I went on to schedule my test, kind of run this today, when I looked at it, it said 10. So in my head, okay, he's going on 10 o'clock tonight. Then once everything, and I don't know why YouTube does this for me. It's not consistent, but it's consistently inconsistent, that sometimes when people will put things on there, I just don't get the notification as to exactly what's going on. So anyway, it's just what it is. I see that Professor G's on there. So anyway, another college buddy of mine, he literally is a professor in upstate New York.
Once it kind of opens up, you smell a little bit more on it, huh?
Yeah. Like I said, it's just sitting here and I can smell the sweetness. I can smell the fruit off of it.
I don't know. How long do I wait? Like, I can't wait to taste it. That's always my problem is I don't think I appreciate the nose enough.
Nobody probably appreciates the nose. Yeah, this smells pretty darn good. This does smell pretty darn
good. Yeah. You definitely get a fruit in the taste. Ooh.
You tasted it? I didn't even.
I tried it. I can't ever hold back. I'm weak. I need a hug every so often. That is good. Wow. It actually sticks around pretty good too.
Wow. Yeah.
I will say I like typically somewhere between, this kind of like 100 range up to about 115 is like my sweet spot. I Me too. I can like, I like a little bit more sometimes and I like a little bit less sometimes.
This is good. And I've only had one sip. So I'm kind of letting my palate get acclimated to it. As Bobby from Battalion Bourbon would say.
Yeah, there's
don't
definitely
judge
like
it on the first sip.
It's almost a honey sweet that I smell on it now that I've tasted it.
I was just going to say, you getting any honey on it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not to be too like normal. I do have a decanter, but usually I use it for. So that's a good point to bring up. I guess his name is Rice Anthony.
Uh,
Is
yeah. Well,
some people use
his name is
decanters.
Mark.
Oh,
He's
it is
talking to
okay.
me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you're Anthony. I was like, God, you have two first names.
Yeah.
But or a last name first. Anyway, some people use decanters to help it open up because just changing of the bottles opens it up, right?
Well, you're adding oxygen to it.
Yeah.
You're moving it around, and particularly you want a decanter that has the glass top, so it allows some air to get through there. So that's why it's important. We've talked about this. So when you get a new bottle and you have the neck pours, which we both did, you want to drink another good drop or two out of there and get it below the shoulder.
Yeah,
And
that's
let
what
it
I try to
open up.
do anytime I have my first drink is get it below the shoulder.
Yeah.
To see how it changes. Yeah.
And then it will change in about a week. Go back to it. I mean, this neck pour to me is good, and I can only imagine what it's going to be like in a week from now.
Right.
What it's going to be like. Oh, big league bourbon. Cheers, Chris.
Fusion,
of course
buddy.
We're drinking Fusion. Fusion 3. Where you been? I'm going to go to 4 and then Fusion 4 because I picked that up.
Big League Bourbon, like there's just so many good guys here, like Bourbon, Big League Bourbon.
I pestered him today to come.
I don't know Rice Anthony, but he seems not. Just kidding,
You
Mark.
can call
Rice.
him whatever you want. You can call him whatever you want.
He seems like a great guy. There's so many cool people, man. Big League Bourbon showed me pictures that he drew yesterday.
Remember, this is a family channel.
No, they were amazing. Like I was like, dang, like. I mean, if I could do that, I would do it all the time, right? Like if I had that ability, just relax and, cut loose on an iPad with, paint and stuff. It's pretty cool. But yeah, he also.
I have an iPad right here that I keep my notes on, but I'm not as good at that as I could be.
Oh, man, it changes after you taste it. Isn't that amazing?
It is. The finish is definitely not short. I'm going to say it's almost a long finish. The spice gives way to a sweetness, and it has a good mouthfeel, so it has some viscosity to it. So I'm getting a little oil on it.
Yeah, I was going to say it's kind of oily.
This second sip that I've had, and I'm going to leave some in this glass, as Bobby would say from Bourbon Battalion, and come back to it here in a little bit to see if the flavor changes. But
you know what I like about this? Is you can taste both the fact that it's a rye or there's rye in it, not that it is a rye, but that there's a like kind of higher rye-ish and a wheater. You kind of get a transition. Yeah, you get a transition from wheat to rye.
And you get the corn sweetness first. I taste that with me, it's a fruit note, a dark fruit, like a cherry, a fig, something along that line. Definitely spice comes in, and then the spice diminishes, and that wheat comes out. That sweetness to me is what is coming back now that I'm getting. The lips are a little tingly because of the rye, but that's going away. But I still have the sweetness lingering. So I definitely would call this a medium to long finish. Definitely.
Yeah,
really
I'm
good.
surprised
how this before.
I'm surprised. It must be that older Kentucky that's giving it that long finish, huh?
Well, that's at MGP. It's 13-year.
Yeah, the 13-year.
Mm-hmm. And then the next one is the 3-year, and it's 42%. And it's 60 corn, but has the 36% rye. It's at the bottom.
Yeah, actually, the wheat is in
the middle.
Yeah, 18%.
Yeah, and it's that the mash bill on that is the 68, 20, and 12. So
you definitely get the malted barley in it too a little bit.
And you know what? I don't get a chocolate note on it, like some people say in the bar when they get a chocolate note out of it. I'm not getting that right now. I'm not saying that it won't or it won't change, but I'm not getting that chocolate.
I don't know if it's because you just said it. But it's almost like a dark chocolate note I'm getting like right towards the end. But it very well could be because you just said that.
Exactly. And the reason why I said that is I read that somewhere. And also Bobby has said that, because that's what jogged my memory about it, he gets more in the barley side when it's chocolate. I don't know if it's dark. I don't know. But I'm not getting it. But I do definitely get the fruit, the cherry.
So I want to try that.
Go ahead. Get yourself a piece of chocolate.
Oh, I don't have chocolate. But I do have Discovery 4.
Hold on. I got some of that.
So I do want to pour some of that just so I can... And then Bourbon, he's probably driving right now. Although he's typing a lot, so he may not be driving. You don't type as much when you drive.
He's talking to Mark about decanters, leaded glass, so on and so forth. I'm going to clean my palate. And you know what? And I got to try the Discovery 3 with this Fusion.
Oh, I grabbed the Discovery 4. So I also got a bottle of Discovery 4 today.
Well, good for you, because I do too.
I got another one. This one's getting half down, you know. Once it gets to this point, this is where I start to think, like, do I need to start? One? Yeah, do I need to start? Like, I need to start looking for another one just so that I don't decide to not drink it.
Here's Fusion 2. Whoops.
Oh, yep.
So there was 3. This is 4.
Oh, okay. You need to pop that. I want to see what you think the difference is.
Well, I'm going to. I just got to get it. I got to get another one.
It's like it's going to be a long night.
About Discovery 3, Discovery 4. Well, I'm going to open this because this one here is going to have the remainder of the 3 from the first initial neck pour. I'm not going to touch that. I just have to remember which is which. Now, which one was this? Okay, this is the Fusion 4. Got to get another glass. No. Thank goodness I keep a couple.
We need...
Water.
We also need people to give us an update on how...
I think Ken's still alive. Oh, my wife's bringing me my little Perrier, another better palate cleanser.
Oh, nice. My wife's like asleep.
Oh,
my wife goes to bed at like 8. Yeah. That's what I do so that I can stay up late. Yeah.
So what do we got here? Fusion 4. To make sure I got the right one because I want to confuse myself. I'm getting so many bottles around here. So here's the Fusion 4.
So survival scientist, bourbon and Scotch are both whiskey.
They are.
It's kind of like, you know, all chinos are khakis, but not all khakis are chinos.
That is true. Old Perrier.
Thank you, Mrs. Neophyte.
Yes, there's no flavor in the Perrier. It's just fizzy water. Oh, Mark, I know you're paying attention in there since you're talking to Bourbon. Yeah, it's still here. He got me this for my 50th birthday. Him and his wife. A couple years ago. I haven't cracked it, but just because he's here, and when I see Ken tonight, I'll open this tonight too. Have a little sip out of there in Mark's honor.
Yeah, so I got this tonight. For tonight. I got it today.
Oh, yeah, so you can show Ken?
Yeah, so I thought it'd be good to pop a Scotch on Ken's stream later with him.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Yeah, so I'm
letting this
smelling the difference between the Fusion
there's a
and the
difference.
Discovery for sure.
There's a difference.
You could definitely tell the Discovery feels a little older.
So this is the Fusion 4, is the one I got. Let me make sure I grab the right one because the damn bottles are so close. Yeah.
Yeah, you know, it's interesting. You smell almost a little more something green. You know what I mean? Like I know green doesn't have a flavor, but a smell. But you know what I'm saying? Like
So that's one thing we always say. Everybody gets something. Everybody smells something different. Everybody calls it different. I mean, I see Jim Morris is up in the chat too. I mean, he'll chime in and tell you, just like Bourbon will tell you, everybody's different. No one is the same. Everybody gets different notes. I mean, I might pick caramel and vanilla out just like you will, but just what you said, I'm getting this green note.
Yep.
Okay, what is it? What is green to you? So you have to tell us because none of us may.
Yeah, it's like I can't even explain.
It's so subjective.
That's where I was watching a video by what are the guys?
And then there's Bobby.
The guys down in Austin. Hey, what's up, Bobby? I was watching the video by one of the guys down in Austin, and they were like, sometimes you can smell something and you recognize it and you know
Where's the dog?
Yeah. Oh, where's the dog? Yes, down here.
Mine's over here too.
She's sleeping now. Once it hits 8 o'clock, the puppy gets tired. Finally.
We had 2 golden retrievers that were like that. 8 o'clock came. They knew that was bedtime. The one would automatically go in the bedroom.
Yeah, for sure.
Go right in the bedroom.
So I forget what are the guys' name, and I'm terrible with names. The guys, I mean, they're like big.
When you get over 50?
The what? Yeah, I know, right?
You get over 50.
The guys down in Austin, Whiskey Vault.
Oh,
so beard, big gold chain guy was talking, and he's like, sometimes you can just you can be thinking of a smell, but if you've never like put a name to something that you've caught, an aroma you've smelled, it's hard for you to describe it. It's hard for you to. So that's why sometimes people will call it green, because that's what's in their brain, but they don't really know what that is that they're smelling. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Oh, Tony Two Toes. Hey, make sure you guys are hitting that like and subscribe button and clicking that bell so the next one that comes on, you all get notified. But,
heck yeah, you'll get notified 30 minutes ahead of time.
Well, I checked with Adam earlier today, and he said, yeah, it's up. And I said, okay. And that was like at 10 o'clock this morning because I was having some other issues. But the hardest thing I had was getting that thumbnail sized correctly to fit. So it was a 16 by 9, but when I extracted that picture, it came through as something else. So I had to go back and find it and change it. I mean, there's more to setting this up than people think. So thank goodness I had people like you and the Mash Bill and the other ones that made tons of mistakes that I just watched and said, hey, I got to ask questions and figure this out to get better. Or
so
at least.
So what I use is something called PicMonkey to make. I mean, it's super easy to use. Like nothing you've seen me put together. Yeah, nothing you've seen me put together is easy so far. But they have, you can go create a blank canvas of a YouTube thumbnail. So it's like all sized perfectly. Yeah.
This Fusion 4.
Yeah, isn't it good? Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, you won't like it one bit, Mike.
Yeah, nobody should buy that. It's not good.
No, do not buy it. I don't know where there's 4 more shelf.
Yeah, you could definitely tell the older age in it when you compare it.
Oh my God, what is in that Ford? Holy smokes! I gotta grab that bottle. So I drank the Fusion Series 3 first. Now I'm on the 4. Okay, and holy smokes!
So it's 55% Kentucky. That's 13-year. 37% Kentucky, 15-year.
Okay, you're on Discovery 4, right?
Yeah.
Okay, this is Fusion 4 I got, but go ahead.
Oh, sorry.
No, that's okay.
And then
because I was on the Fusion 3, and I says, I got to try what 4's like, because I thought 3 was delicious.
Looks like 8% Kentucky, 19-year. Or is that 10-year? Maybe that's 10-year. Oh, 10-year. Sorry, not 19. Yeah, this one's really good. Yeah, I saw a Fusion 4 at a different store that I was at today. Mm-hmm. I saw it yesterday, the day before, but it was down in Denver, so I didn't want to drive down to Denver, but I thought I would check a couple stores tonight.
Well, I don't blame you for not wanting to drive to Denver, but so this Fusion 4, I just took one sip, and I'm like, holy crap, it's delicious. So 40% of it is MGP, 13 year, 47% corn, 18% rye, 8% malted barley. The next is 11% Bardstown 3 year, which is 60 corn and 40 rye. The next is 15% Bardstown 3 year at 79 corn, 10 rye, and 12 malted barley. 34% is 4 year from Bardstown. This is their own distillate at 70% corn, 18% rye, and 12% malted barley. And it is at 94.9 proof, so 47.4 ABV. And I'm telling you, this is like, I don't know what to say. It's really good. And I'm going to go for the second one because I really wasn't sure exactly what to expect going from one to the other. But
I just think Bardstown is doing it right. Like, you know, they're saying we'll blend to keep the doors open, but we're going to make our own stuff eventually.
wow. It is just a sweetness explosion. And for having some rye in it, and I know they're a smaller percentage, but it is a great sipper. The finish, I'm going to call it medium. It's not extravagant. In other words, it's not long or anything like that. It's 94 proof, so this is a great sipper. But I mean, bottom line, it's a great sipper. I know my dad would like it. That's for sure. You don't get a hug. Nothing at all like that. Definitely not. I thought you'd get more of a rye spice, even though it's a very small amount in the 3 year. But still, wow. So going to the Fusion 3, the Fusion 4 is lighter, if that makes sense. It's lighter, it's cleaner on the palate, let's say. All right, if that makes sense to you. Let me take another little Perrier there. I'm going to go to that. Taking a little sip of the 3. Yeah, 3 is definitely more rye spice, more dark fruit, heavy. This is a very creamy. Definitely doesn't have the viscosity that the 3 has. But I'm still trying to put a finger on what that is. I mean, it could be a dark fruit, but.
So do you primarily stick with whiskey, Anthony?
Yeah. Yeah. No tequila. I gave up gin a long time ago. Yeah.
None of the new hotness, which they call rum?
You know, I'm not going to say no because there's a couple out there that I looked at Liquor Lineup. It made me go, and the name just popped out of my head. But they've already been reviewed. I think Jason from Mass and Drum reviewed them, or at least one of them. And from what he said, it's a hitter. Damn it.
Yeah, they've had a couple. They did a couple where I'm drawing a blank on his name right now. I friggin' love his channel too. He's so friendly, nice, one arm.
Oh, yeah. Bourbon Bites.
Yeah, Bourbon Bites. Yeah.
Yeah.
Not Clayton.
Clifton.
Clifton.
I'm like, I know his name. His name.
I'm like, gosh, like he's.
And I just couldn't spit it out, and I was slowly but surely playing it back. I told you, wait till you get over 50, you'll see it's worse.
That's right. Yeah. So he did a pretty interesting where he compared a few different of the, non-flavored rums, right? Like, so not like the.
I don't want
Malibu.
Yeah, correct. Don't give me Captain Morgan's.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's not real rum. I mean,
Yeah.
in essence, it's not. When you have a true rum, like a friend of ours was down in Dominican, and he brought back some stuff. And don't laugh, but it literally had leaves and twigs and crap like that in it, literally. And he poured it. And he said, "It's the best rum you'll ever have." And there's branches in there.
Yeah.
There is. And I'm like, he's like, no, this is it. This is it. I will say, I was like, wow, you have a couple glasses of that, you know it.
Oh yeah.
You know it.
It's high proof too. Yeah, it's pretty high proof.
It makes your feet warm. I will tell you, it makes your feet warm. But wow.
And they do age them in barrels, so it's not like it's that far off of whiskey, right? Like I find some of them are not sweet like you expect. Yeah.
Wow. This is good.
And so
honestly, this
got
Discovery
you?
or Fusion 4 is good.
And did you start on bourbon or
So-
start on? Okay.
Okay. Go back to the day, back into school. Okay. There was always in the fraternity house, Jim Beam, Jack Daniels, Jaeger. I mean, you go on and on. Keystone Light for beer, Olympia. Hey, Richie Z. All
Make
the
sure
good
you guys
stuff.
hit the follow button and
Yeah.
the like button on here.
That's right. And so that's what kind of got it. But back in them days, if it mixed well, you weren't into it for the craft. Trust me. I would have never spent the money on a bottle of bourbon like this. I'd have been like, are you crazy? You know what I can get a gallon of Jim Beam for, or Jack Daniels? So we used to get Everclear.
Oh yeah.
Okay. And if a few people that I know that are on the chat are still on there, they're already know where I'm going. And we would make jungle juice.
Hey Richie.
So, and which is a hodgepodge of a bunch of stuff mixed in a garbage can with Daly's fruit punch, water, fruit, and dry ice. I'm going to tell you what, you finished a nice mug of that, you knew it.
Oh yeah.
So anyway.
We used to do Everclear and grape soda.
Well, this you wouldn't know there was booze in it, but there could have been beer, there was wine, there was regular liquor in there, plus Everclear. And being that I lived in PA, had the PA driver's license, was in school in Ohio, I could go to PA, buy it, and come back. So anyway, not that I would ever do that.
Right. No.
Yeah, no. But anyway, so I always liked the taste of whiskey. So growing up as a kid, yes, John, I have the secret recipe that was passed on to me. So anyway, this wasn't forbidden at 16 years old. If I wanted to have a beer, my dad allowed me to have a beer. If I wanted to have a drink of whiskey, I could. It wasn't forbidden. But what was forbidden is if I was caught on the corner or somewhere else other than home, lightning would have struck.
Yeah.
So I didn't drink really in high school. It wasn't forbidden, so I didn't care for it. When I got into college, I drank more. Who didn't?
Well, you were in a fraternity, so.
Exactly. But my whiskey drinking thing started to evolve when I got into gin. I really like gin, particularly Bombay Sapphire. On the rocks, 3 olives, just hold the bottle of vermouth up and just quickly let it see it and then put it away. Other than that, that was it. Loved it. Tanqueray and tonic, that was my kind of just drink to have. I loved it.
I have a funny story about that when you're done. Don't remind me.
As time went on, I think it was a Knob Creek or, wait a minute, I'm thinking. Or was it Makers? It was a long time ago. And we bought some. My wife bought me some and I brought it home and I put it in a decanter because I had one. And I just started sipping on that. And that kind of is what set that's what set the hook, and I really liked the taste of it. So it wasn't till about last year when I'm sitting here and I was home because I had the rotator cuff surgery, and I picked up a bottle of E.H. Taylor. I picked up a bottle of Few Rye, and what else was it that I got? I think it was the Smoke Wagon stuff. Poof. Literally. That's what ignited it. So
hooked.
basically 6 months. And I'm like, oh man, this is really great. So then I also started reading up on some of this stuff, like the Bardstown. You know, I think this year they're on pace to do 7 million proof gallons down there. 7 million.
Yeah, that's crazy.
From where they started at about 1 million just 4 years ago.
Yeah.
And they've been almost doubling year after year. I just caught something on YouTube about them. I think it was the podcast, not with Grease. It's another one. But anyway, and I got hooked into that while I was doing some other things, listening to it and how they evolved over the last 4 or 5 years with the restaurant and so on and so forth that they have down there in Bardstown, Kentucky, and what they're trying to do. And then also some of the other people that go in there and buy distillate or that go in there and they make their product. And then this year, they're building their own bottling plant right there. And then it should be open June, not this June, but a year from now, roughly. And they're going to be doing everything right there, from distilling to labeling to bottling to out it goes at Bardstown. I mean, it went from, one building to boom in 5 years? And they're the 7th largest distiller. And don't quote me, it could be 6, it could be 5, but in the nation right now. In 5 years.
Yeah, that's crazy.
It is.
And it's all because of ADHD whiskey. No, I'm just kidding.
Well, you know what?
One would argue that ADHD whiskey is because of Bardstown.
Well,
I think
he's one of the people that, I don't want to say hooked me, but I liked his personality, ADHD whiskey.
When you watch his videos,
you have to laugh at some of them.
Yeah.
You just have to laugh. And when he gets something he really doesn't like, it's like, what the heck is this? It made me just bust out laughing.
Do we have any updates in chat from how that's going over there with
well, ADHD whiskey in the
yeah, who's winning? I don't think we really know who's winning till the end. I was just curious if anybody knew.
Well, they kept us abreast when HBR was in there, back and forth.
Yeah.
Yeah,
he's it was interesting because we were talking to, who were we talking to on one of our it was like one of the after streams. We were in there and we were talking to somebody, I can't remember, and they were talking about the difference between ADHD whiskey when he's live versus when he does his videos.
Mm-hmm.
And his videos, I'll tell you my funny story about vermouth here in just a second. But they were just saying that like he's so much more confident on his videos.
Oh,
and that they just come across, extremely well. And then they were talking about, not that his lives aren't great, but he doesn't have the same personality in his lives that he has in the. And it's hard because you're trying to interact with everybody, and for a live stream, you want it to be interactive and stuff. So,
exactly. I think he does a good job. Don't get me wrong. I think he does a real good job. I mean,
there you go, Bobby.
Yeah. Like you said, from what he did from ADHD fishing, to where he is at right now, I think he's done a great job. And you're right. You can watch the evolution. And so one of the things I want to say is listening to you and Adam, a.k.a. Mr. Whiskey Shits, the Mash Bill, Stan, is just go live. Everyone you do, or every video that you do, everyone is always better. Like the little oops that's here, who knows why it just wouldn't click on when I kept saying start.
Yeah.
Who knows? But that happens to everybody. So it's funny. You get down the wormhole of YouTube, you can find a lot of things.
Yeah.
You know. So one of the things I was watching was videos, and they said, watch in 6 months where you were, where you started, and where you are, and notice the huge difference. And they said the best thing you can do is just keep going, because really people are listening to you for what you have to say.
Yeah.
You know, eventually you work.
I don't know if that's true with me, because we bring on guests.
Well, I'm good, but that's true. Who knows?
Yeah.
Who knows? But that's the thing I want to do too, is have you on again, have Adam on, have Bourbon Battalion on, you know, have, even if Richie Z wants to pop on one day, have him stick his in there, the mash bill, ADHD whiskey, mash and drum.
Richie Z, if you come on here before you come on Live Wire Whiskey.
Don't listen to him, Richie.
Yeah, just kidding. So I did have a stream. Your buddy was, reminded me. So I remember when I was like 18 years old, in Fort Collins, as growing up, we used to have a pool in our backyard. We always had pool parties. Neighborhood would come over, and Colorado, not everybody has a pool like they do in Vegas, right? But
I don't have a pool. I got a hot tub.
Oh, okay. So the neighbor, I went over to his house, and I was doing something at his house, and he was pouring himself a martini. Hey, Bob. And he was pouring himself a martini, and he pours the gin in, and then he takes the vermouth and he just kind of waves it over.
Mm-hmm.
He takes the cap off and just kind of fans it with the cap, puts the cap back on the vermouth, and he goes, "I've had this bottle of vermouth for 28 years," and puts it back in the cupboard.
That's about all vermouth is good for.
Yep, that's right.
That's about all it's good for. I mean,
as a kid, I don't know why that always stuck in my head. He's just like, fanning it with the vermouth cap, and that was it. And the bottle was almost full. Mm-hmm. What's up, Bobby? How are you?
Hey, Bobby. Thanks for popping on.
Oh, no. Hey, I was out at the fire, and I was out there with the gunny, and he had
brought him on.
Yeah, right. He's not coming on your stream before he comes on mine.
Everybody says that.
Mm-hmm.
So
you never know.
Gunny's my brother.
I know.
I will literally choke him out.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
No. Hey, I'm glad you're doing something, man.
Well, like I said, because of you and Mike and a few others, I mean, I wanted to see how it was done. And I had a lot of trial and error. In other words, I played a lot here and there throughout the last couple of weeks trying to get things right. And then I just said, you know what? It's not going to be perfect. Things are going to happen.
No.
Don't worry about it. So anyway, that being said.
Don't worry about that kind of stuff.
Exactly. So that being said, I got the thumbnail working today, and that was the thing, getting the aspect, the ratio correct, so it looks decent on there. But my problem was, and it took me a minute to figure it out, is when I got that image, when I downloaded it wrong, and I couldn't get it changed. So long short is, after you walk away from it for a little bit, get a cup of coffee, you're like, oh, you're an idiot. I figured it out, went back, found it, changed the size, downloaded it, then had to go back in and type that up. But the first person that actually saw it was Ken from Scotch Down Under. I shot it to him a couple of weeks ago, and I said, what do you think? And he's like, change this, change that, do this, do that. So we went back and forth a little bit, he and I, to get to what you guys saw today. But then that's when I realized today that the size was too big. It was just the wrong size. So,
right,
like I said, it's been more of an endeavor than I thought it would be. Because you guys made it look so easy, but then you probably did the same thing.
If you saw my first videos, I mean, literally it was on an iPhone, and I had a mirror behind me. I never even heard the word vector. I was like, vector, that sounds like something I should do, like when I was doing like some kind of math and some kind of electronics. And I was like, wait a second, I don't even know what the hell you're talking about.
So I got this don't know if you guys can see it.
Getting drunk with.
Mother-in-law cured you of gin. Yeah.
Yeah.
You could literally put that behind you and it would be a hit, right?
Yeah.
That's the thing.
Well,
like,
it did cure me. So what happened was
yeah, that's awesome.
I went back to school, University of Phoenix, and I graduated, and so I got the degree. So anyway, long short is I made some martinis. Well, I was a purist, just gin on the rocks, 3 olives, like I said, show the vermouth, pass it away. So I had this apple something, wasn't apple juice, but it could have been. So I remember something about an apple teeny, and I thought, I dumped it in there. Well, when I realized that mother-in-law and I went through a bottle and a half of gin, and the realization of what happened kicked in, yep, I went to bed. And I haven't touched gin since, and that's like 05, I'm going to say 07.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I haven't touched it since. Not that I got sick or anything. It's just like, that's dangerous. That's just dangerous.
Yeah.
I mean, to me, gin is like nectar. It was good. Other people say, how can you drink turpentine? I go, that's easy. Take the cap off.
It depends on the
over.
gin, right? Like
Well, it's Bombay Sapphire.
Oh,
yeah, like Bombay Sapphire is just kind of, but that's not like
It's not like great gin. It
yeah,
isn't,
but we had
this.
this, we have this bar near me, and it's called the Tavern. It's down below, super cool spot. You know, big old, wooden, what are they called? The wooden rafters, whatever you call them, right? I'm not a builder, but yeah, beams. That was the word I was looking for, Bobby.
Thanks.
I've been drinking high proof apparently already, but they had this and I forget what type of gin it was called, but it wasn't just when I tried it, I was like I like gin. I used to do Tom Collins all the time. Like that was my jam for a long time, right? A gin and sour. And man, they made this thing and they're like, and I'm like, dude, something's wrong with this gin. And they're like, oh no, it's this kind of gin. And I was like, I think it went bad. And they're like, no, some people, if you don't know, you shouldn't order that kind of gin. And I was like, how do you know if you've never had it?
Exactly.
And they gave me the gin. I was like, I'll still pay for it. Like I ordered it. You didn't make it wrong. And that's what it was supposed to be. It's kind of my fault. And they're like, no, we'll give you an old fashioned or whatever. I was like, should order that to start with. But it was like, I want to say it was like not raw gin, but it was something like that where it was like, I don't know. I can't remember what they called it. I'm going to Google it now while we're talking because now it's bugging me. But it was funky. But I always like just, I got my daughter when she turned 18. We got her drunk on Beefeater gin just so she never wanted to get drunk again.
Exactly.
That'll do it. Beefeaters?
She hardly drinks it all now. Yeah.
But you know what? Beefeaters is a decent well gin. It's been around for a long time. So I didn't have anything against it. But if I was having a gin and it was a well, I wanted Tanqueray. If I was having a gin and I wanted something out of the well on the first shelf, it's Bombay Sapphire.
Yeah, I can't remember what they call it. They call it Plymouth gin, maybe?
Plymouth?
Something like that. I don't know if it was Plymouth. That doesn't sound right. It was something. It was basically it was like raw gin is the way he kind of made me, you know what I mean? It kind of made me, the way he described it is kind of how I would call it. It was more like a raw gin than a refined gin. And so apparently it's the new big gin. I don't know. It wasn't for me.
Yeah.
So my bourbon journey started when my neighbor, I thought everything was like Jack Daniels.
Who didn't?
Right. And I was like, and so he brought over a Basil Hayden's because he wanted to go gentle. Right. Like he didn't start out with anything. And I was like, ooh, I like this. And then I tried Standard Makers and I was like, ooh, I don't like this. And then I tried Knob Creek, which was 100 proof. And I was like, ooh, I kind of like this. There's like a nut.
Yeah. I like the 100 proof when you start getting up there,
Yeah. And then my
110,
wife,
115.
yep. And then my wife quit drinking. So she's sober. And I didn't want to have, just out of respect for what she was going through, I stopped drinking beer. I didn't want beer, wine, anything like that in the house because I didn't have to stop drinking, but I just didn't want it to be there as something for her. But I knew she hated whiskey.
Mm-hmm.
And so it would be like all of a sudden there was a bottle of whiskey in there. And I was like, does this bother you that it's here? And she's like, I hate that shit. I would never even consider it, even if I had a bad day. And I was like, And then it's like, I got, my first like kind of I'm like, ooh, I just spent $60 on a bottle of whiskey. And it was like, then I got Booker's and I was like, damn. Then I got hammered on Booker's and I was like, ooh, I don't like Booker's for a year. But yeah, that's kind of how and then it just like, it kind of grows. And now it's not just about drinking bourbon, although I like it. It's sharing bourbon. I love it when a friend comes over and I'm like, what do you want to try? What do you mean Blanton's? Like, dude, it's notorious, but it's not as good. Like, try one of these, or just even the hunt of trying to find a bourbon. Like, to me, that's fun. I like collecting things. Like the reason I haven't been doing as many streams lately is the wife is like, you're like all in on everything when you do anything. Like, you don't do anything half-assed. She goes, do you want to turn into Bourbon Battalion and be up till 4 a.m. every night? No, I'm just kidding. She didn't say that.
You're not wrong.
Yeah.
You're not wrong. But I still function at a high level and have a good job, and I never miss my job.
Oh, yeah. I'm not judging. I'm just playing. No. She's like.
But it's really funny, right? Like, I had a conversation with someone this last week, and I said, listen, I had to take a day off. I said, I'm pretty sure that I had like 2 hours of sleep, like 3 consecutive days. And I was still doing everything at a high level, but I was like, man, I just feel like, oh, man, I was just worthless.
Yeah.
I could do my stuff, but I just felt like rough, and I was tired. And I had a couple of people like send me text messages and direct. They said, how are you up? And I was like, I don't know. I don't know. I have to be. I have a real life. I have a job. But I want to reflect back on something that before I jumped in, I heard Anthony said. And I think that's one of those things that we're all here to help, right? We're all here to give advice. We're all here to do whatever. If someone ever is jumping on and they want to follow you, right? It doesn't matter what anybody else has reviewed. It doesn't matter what anybody else has done. Everybody's looking because there's so many different palettes, right? And everybody has different thought process. Like when Mike was sitting there saying a second ago, it's like, hey, I remember like the first time you had Booker's, it was like, whoa. And now you're like, whoa, that's changed. Your palette will change. But the thing that I think that's so important is being able to go back and talk to someone that's just starting. You have to have that. You have to be perfectly okay with giving your review of what you think, and it really doesn't matter what anybody else thinks.
No.
Because if you do, then you're just going to be mimicking someone else.
So, by the way, this is smashable, Anthony.
It is.
Series 3?
Fusion 3?
Yeah.
Yeah, that one, like, I'm comparing it to Discovery 4.
Well, I've got Fusion 3, Fusion 4.
The first bottle of Fusion 3 I had, I drank straight up the whole bottle.
Yeah, it's that Fusion 3 goes down like butter.
It is. I
like
told you
this,
it has a
the
better,
Discovery is
the
a little
3
hotter.
Yeah. The 3 has more viscosity than Fusion 4.
It does.
But Fusion 4 is how do I say this? More of a caramel sweetness bomb than 3, but 3 has a longer finish than 4. But
yeah, to me, 4 was more of what I would expect to have from a really good typical bourbon. 3 had a lot more complexity. That's somewhere on the mid palate. I was just like, whoa, I need to explore this.
Also, the rye spice, the rye spice on the 3.
Yeah, and I think that's the thing, right? You can really be, but that's the thing that those are the things that are what someone needs to know. They need to learn that. You're going to have people that identify with a lot of people. We love each other, right? Because we are doing this. Your channel has to be about you. And that's the cool thing. Like, I know when I'm going on Livewire, I know exactly what I expect on Livewire. One of the top 2 pub hangouts where you're just going to have a lot of fun and you're going to tell stories for years about the shit that happens on there. I said top 2, you and Ken. Oh, come on.
I'll give you Ken.
You can't not say about Ken on lives, right?
Ken is international.
Me and Ken did the COVID number 2, right? I did 8 hours with Ken before my second Moderna shot kicked in. And I was like, yeah, I got to go. Bad shit happened. But, I think the thing that you have to talk about what you like and what you don't like. And then understand that, a year from now, Anthony, the shit you like, you might not like as much.
Hey, I got one of those right now.
Yeah.
That when I first drank it, I wasn't fond with it, but as it opened up and I went back to it, it's like, oh, this is going to be okay. It's going to be okay. Went back to it again, and I'm like, no. And I talked about it. It's that Few straight bourbon.
And I know Few.
Red label.
Yep.
But the problem is, I thought it was 2-year juice. It's 1 year.
Yep.
Too young. Definitely too young. Has that barrel funk or just funk about it. And no, the rye, which is in the blue one, I do like. It's 2 years, I think maybe 3, but I think it's at least 2 years. Way better, much more drinkable. I'll definitely, if I run out of that, I'm not saying I'll run back and find one, but it's in the running. But the straight bourbon by Few, no.
So, I want to bring up something that I think that, it's something that's interesting that I don't hear anybody talking about. And me and the Gunny was on the back deck talking about it tonight.
So is he your actual brother?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's my brother. He's 12 years my elder. But yeah, he's my brother.
We all need to go to Vegas and go shooting, for the record.
Oh,
Hey.
Lord God, you'll come out of there being actually able to actually hit stuff. So,
I'm a good shot, but I'm not military good shot, so I don't take anything away from you guys.
You're the primary military instructor of the rifle range, and I was part of the Marine Corps pistol team.
Oh, very good.
So he does long range, and I'm good at long range, but he's really good.
All right, I got it.
I'm more of a hand expert. I'm more of the short range pistol.
Oh, nice.
So I didn't have any experience when I went in, and the guy that happened to be my primary military instructor for the pistol range was the platoon sergeant for the Marine Corps pistol team. So I had no bad things, and he came in and taught me X. My brother is just a 21-time United States Marine Corps rifle expert. I watched him offhand shoot a snake out of his pond at about 50 yards. And it was pretty dope. He did that, and I was just like, dude, we need to drink that. That's fucking awesome. So
I got to do this Fusion 2, since I have Fusion 2, 3, and 4. I got to get I know what this is, but I have to. I saved the little.
Yeah.
From the 3, the 4's over there. I don't want to confuse it, but I got to get a little of this here.
Yeah. While you're tasting that, what I was gonna say though is
sorry I interrupted you, Bobby. Go ahead.
I have a decent train of thought because I haven't really been drinking yet. So, you sit there and think, right? Traditionally, right, for years. If you were going into a whiskey / bourbon and it had this really deep complexity that had this big darkness to it and this barrel age statement, what's your guys' thought on some of the new wave shit that's coming out between Texas and different craft distilleries that are throwing out stuff that is dark and rich, and there's no way you would peg the fact that they're a 2-year bourbon? Are you? Mike, I'm telling you, me and the Gunny was just back here talking about it. I have a horse soldier barrel strength that looks like a 20-some-year-old bourbon. It tastes like a 20-year-old bourbon, and it's a 2.
Yeah. No, I believe it.
It's just blowing my mind because we're talking. I know when I went through the whole idea of I did this Texas shootout with the Iron Roots and the Balcones. And you're talking
I'm
like
not good on the balconies.
there's no well,
Man, I'll tell you.
fortunate balconies I had were like not normal balconies you'll find, right? Like I had samples sent in from Daniel, and Daniel is the Texas god when it comes to getting you shit. So, but I'm telling you right. So as your complexity changes, you're gonna find like this weird thing where why did someone say like, "Wow, this is really good," and you're tasting? It's an evolution, right? It doesn't mean that you're wrong. That's never the case. It's the idea that you will find, just like you have found certain things change, that will continue to happen. And I remember I went on to the balconies and I had the Grand Cru, I had this Iron Root. These are stuff I won't find, Series 1, Batch 3, Iron Root. But when I had them, I was like, these are better. All 7 of those were better than 60% of every bourbon me and the Gunny have. And he agreed. And my brother is not a Texas whiskey. He hates Scotch. And he said the same thing. This Iron Root, which is a 2-year, because it's the minimum. They might have a blended with something else. They have to say 2. It's a 2-year barrel strength. It is a freaking barrel molasses, old, dark bomb. It's 2 years old. I could never guess the age statement on that if I wanted to.
So Daniel H sent us a sample. I haven't opened the Iron Root yet, but he did send us a Balcones single malt something. I don't know what it was. It had another name on it. I wasn't sure what it was referencing, but that Balcones I was a little surprised on. It was pretty darn good. I haven't tried the Iron Root yet that he has over there.
If you tell me what they are, I'll tell you, but I can just tell you on the texture. And this is the thing, Anthony, go into it very open-minded. I would say that what I would challenge you, and the thing I've been really doing over the last
Harbinger Evo 1.
Oh, yeah, that's really good. That was in my shootout. It's really good. It's Evo 1. What Evo 1 what?
Batch 3.
Oh. So that is, I literally got called from Matt from the Whiskey Crusaders, like, how in the hell did you get that? That right there, I'm not sure if it's going to win the overall, but it's going to be pretty darn close.
So Daniel H is amazing, dude. Like he's
a good dude.
Yeah, he's like good dude. He's like, you want to trade? I was like, sure. What do you got? And he's like, he goes, I'm like, this is what I have. He goes, I'd love to try a couple of Bardstown. I've never had that. And I have 2, 3, and 4 plus Prisoner. And he's like, well, how about if I send you Angel's Envy cask strength, 4 Roses LE 2020.
Yep.
And I'm like, and then he's like the Balcones single malt, and it's the special one. It's like I don't know if that's a store pick, single barrel, whatever it is.
I know what he sent you. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it was awesome. And he's like, they're hitters. Just trust me, they're hitters. And I'm like, okay, I trust you. Like, I believe you. I mean, just the Angel's Envy cask strength is, a big bottle, right? Like, and so I sent him 2 of the Bardstown. I think I sent him 3 and 4 or 2 and 4. I can't remember.
Fine.
Yeah, and then I sent him. He also wanted to try Blue Spot, so I sent him the Blue Spot, and then I sent him a surprise sample he didn't ask for, but I sent him a 4-gate batch 12. So,
I think that's the thing you have to do, right? So, Anthony, my advice is like find what you really like, and then be completely open to exploring your palate. What are the things what's it missing? What would make this like amazing? I would have never, ever thought a day in my life that the Texas whiskey would destroy someone like Kentucky bourbon. And it absolutely does.
Big League Bourbon, you have more hitters than me. So,
oh yeah. Like I'd like to have some Obtainium light whiskey, the hazmat, and
I've got some, I'll send you somebody.
There's people out here, and that's the cool thing, right? Because we're
exactly.
The YouTube community is the most unique community. I swear to God, it is the most unique.
So it's funny. I just sent Adam his 2 bottles. I had 2 bottles that I found for him. I got him the Remus Batch 3, and I bought him the store pick or pick from Breaking Bourbon because I'm a Patreon for Breaking Bourbon.
Yeah.
which everybody can get it now. I mean, this just puts you to the top of the line. But yeah, the barrel breaking bourbon pick. So I sent him those two, and then I'm like, oh, what samples do you want? So he gets 4-gate batch 10, 4-gate batch 12, red spot, and what else was it? I can't remember what else I put in there. It was something else. It was Murray Hill Club, Joseph Magnus Murray Hill Club.
Oh, that's really good. I've had that.
And I'm like, dude, like
that's
the freaking 5 samples I put in there are probably worth more than those 2 bottles.
Hey, that Murray Hill is amazing with a cigar.
Yeah, it's super good. It's not the cigar blend, but it's like the next best thing. Yeah.
But I'll tell you what, I think it's comparable. I've done them both. I'm part of the Mid Ohio Bourbon Boys, and we have a lot of hitters in there that have some stuff. So we get to try a ton of stuff, and it was pretty damn good.
Yeah, and I get I'm always willing to trade people, and they're like, "What do you got willing to trade?" I'm like, "I'll trade anything you see on the stream that I'm drinking that is not the Van Winkle Family Reserve Rye, because that has a meaning to my wife, and every time I try to pour a sample, somehow she's there. Like, she's like a freaking hawk. She'll be like, oh, I don't GTS, whatever, Van Winkle Family Reserve Rye. No, you cracked that open with, our son-in-law after the baby was born. So no.
Chris, if you come across another Murray Hill, you better get it for me, or I will figure out where you're at. And I'll throw a bottle at you that isn't as fast as yours, but I'll try.
Yeah, and they're not that expensive.
Oh, they're not that bad.
Yeah.
So I have to look at this box, right? I have a question for you, Mike.
I think it was 120 or 130, maybe.
Where's this at?
It was more than the triple cask Joseph Magnus that nobody likes.
Yeah.
But I think it was a little bit less than the cigar blend, like $10. Oh, 99. Yeah, dude, all day.
Hey, Mike.
It's better than Cream of Kentucky, 13.5. If you ever had that, I thought it was way better.
I need your help for a second.
What's up?
Who is Jeff Crawford?
Jeff Crawford?
Geoff Crawford.
I don't know.
I don't either. I have no idea. I got samples today that are amazing. I don't know who this is.
I don't know. Maybe he has a different handle.
Well, he might, but
oh, look at you playing with stuff, Anthony.
Look at you actually making us not be big like Adam. Is it Adam that hates that?
Yeah.
Yeah, Adam doesn't like it in the other format. Yeah.
Well, I'm just sitting here saying, I'm sitting here thinking, okay, I don't know who Jeff Crawford is. I don't know.
Yeah, Chris, I'd take another Murray Hill if you want to go get both of them.
Yeah.
You can give one to Bobby because I already have one.
I don't have one. I just had samples at my Mid Ohio Bourbons. But if Jeff Crawford, is it when it's Geof? Is it Jeff?
It might be. I can't remember. I don't know if I can look up who are.
I don't know who it is, but I got some samples that were amazing, and I want to thank him because I was like, oh, dude, these are hitters, and I'm like, I don't know this name.
So Dan and Julie were on our stream on Sunday.
Yeah, I was on.
Yeah, and dude, Julie already sent me samples, and I was like, for the record, when you're not on stream, Julie, I tell people that Old Carter is fake news. I wasn't saying it just because you were on there trying to fish. She's texting me. She is the coolest lady on the planet. She is just we're hungover. This was Monday morning. She's like, we're hungover. We'll send this. Or no, it was Thursday. No, yeah, yesterday. It was Wednesday night they were on, right? And she's like, we're hungover tonight. We'll just send you stuff today.
Wednesday night here, post National Drum. So I got these 2 samples. One of them is number 56 High West Double Rye Barrel Select, 11 months in Fume Blanc.
A what?
A Fume Blanc it's a white wine cask, right?
I just didn't catch what you said.
Yeah, it's a Blanc. And then I got a Elijah Craig small batch store pick barrel 602-3806, Rickhouse T, floor 794. And I'm like,
That's a lot to say.
but I want to throw props to someone, and I don't know who to throw it to.
They had to get your address from somewhere. Check your Instagram.
Somewhere, but I mean, I know all my stuff. I know
You might like. I would check your Instagram or your Patreon messages. You gave someone your address, and that might narrow it down.
Well, I'm going to keep double checking, but like I know that like everybody's handle, and I know their names. I don't know that one, and I'll search it out. I'll figure it out, but I'm like really intrigued because like I don't know who that is, and I really am like, listen.
Maybe it is. Maybe Adam put somebody else's name on it.
That's possible.
It's possible. So Adam, so I don't know if you guys get the alerts from High West, but Adam's gonna see if there's any way, even though he's working, that he can get up to the High West when they drop that Rendezvous distillery pick again.
Oh, that'll be nice.
Oh,
He's getting me another bottle. I'm like, oh my God, like I hammered that first bottle that first night, and I'm afraid to go back to it just because I just remember how much I liked it that first night. I'm afraid I'll be disappointed. You ever have that where you're like, you take that first sip and then you get back to it, like you're like, did I really like it that much? Yeah, it's but yeah, he's gonna go try to get a couple of those bottles for us.
well,
That's
I will
kind of
tell
a
you.
special live wire bottle for the record.
Oh,
That was like our first bottle to share and all that stuff. Like,
yeah, I got you.
Yeah.
Well, I will say this: between Fusion 2, 3, and 4, it's tough to line these things up and tell you which is one. But right now, 2 is my number 1. 3 and 4, who gets the second or third position? It's tough because 3 and 4 are really close.
So you need to do them blind. If you really want to know which juice you like, so for ones like that, like I feel like when you have different batches, like so Discovery 2, 3, and 4,
Even the nosing now is getting very
Fusion 2, 3, and 4. Like that's where I think the whiskey itself is the most important. I've said this before on our stream. It's when it's not that, like it's really interesting to see how much you like a Van Winkle or a Weller 12 or whatever, right? Like those hard to get, to see how much you really like them, if they're worth chasing. But, I still say there's like part of it is the bottle. It's how hard it is to find, that makes it just as special as what's inside the bottle, if you know what I'm saying. So
yeah.
I really believe whiskey is, it's when you pop it, it's who you share it with. It's, how hard it is to get, but like I'm telling you right now, that Early Times bottle and bond might be your favorite if it happens to be the bottle you crack when your granddaughter's born. You know what I mean? Like
right.
All of a sudden that's your special bottle, even though it's $21,
Yeah. No, absolutely.
What's up, whiskey shits? Aren't you supposed to be drinking and, doing stuff that dudes do at a cabin when there's like 30 of them together?
We don't want to know that.
Maybe you should be here and hiding out or something.
But that's the thing, right? Whatever is the most special thing to you is because it has a taste, a palate, and something you want to share. It doesn't really matter the price.
Yeah. Like there's some things like when I'm sitting here with you guys, I'm like, this is just good. It's not my son-in-law as much as I love you guys. It's not my son-in-law when my granddaughter was born. You know what I mean? Like that's a special moment. There's also just that, like, I'm drinking with whiskey, guys.
Uh-oh. Hold on here. Let's see if we can do this.
Oh, Lord.
Oh, shit. Andy brought the Gold Glen with him. Cheers.
You opened your mouth. Look who shows up.
Where in the hell is he at?
So he's at a cabin right now that apparently Mark Cuban is staying at next week when he's in Utah.
Yeah, well, he just made sure he was there.
And he has a new girlfriend.
It will be desanitized by the time he gets there. That's for sure. Now that
yeah, do they have bleach strong enough for that?
Man, I'm glad that hand delivery got there okay. I was worried about that.
Still in my car. I haven't unboxed it yet to check on it, but you can't even hear the liquid. Like it's packed tight, dude.
Well, when I gave that to the person that hand delivered it, I made sure, that it's right. And just like you said, it probably wasn't going anywhere. But
Yeah.
I
you guys
made
having
sure.
fun, Adam?
What's that?
Are you guys having fun?
Yeah, we're having a good time, man. We're just chit
I
chat.
didn't know you were a flat bill guy. I can hook you up.
Dude, it's not a flat bill. It just hasn't.
Oh no, it looks flat.
Dude,
It looks
it's cool,
flatter than a
M&M.
nail
We
head.
don't mind M&M.
probably flat because you have like this weird bald-headed freaking little baby like this.
Hey, hip hop.
Hey, tell
I
me.
want you to enjoy your time up there. All right.
Yeah. We'll have a good time. I just wanted to jump in, especially for Bourbon Neophyte's first stream. I wanted to make an appearance.
Yep.
Cheers to Anthony.
Oh, cheers.
Cheers, boys. Have a good night.
Yep,
Yeah.
cheers.
Hey, drink a couple for us, would you?
Sure thing. Get my buddy here.
Oh yeah. And the holiday tree. Yeah.
Tongue just fell out. All right. See you guys.
See ya.
That's awesome.
I thought I saw a Christmas tree in the background. I was like, nah. Then when he went over to that cougar or mountain lion, I didn't catch what it was, but I was like, it is a tree.
So I'm making something kind of like what you have in the background, by the way, Bobby. I got my CNC. I got to make sure my Z-axis is working again on my CNC. But I'm putting together. I'm going to make a barrel top for live wire whiskey. It'll be pretty cool.
Yeah. So like I went to
Once I'm not going to do it though until Big League Bourbon kind of fixes our logo, because apparently we're getting disapproved looks from Big League Bourbon because we went to Fiverr for our logo.
Oh.
So the only reason I have the stuff behind me, right, and I'm gonna plug him, right. So I went to school. He's younger than me, but like only like a couple years. A local kid that I was in elementary with. His parents were teachers. And all that stuff. On Facebook, I saw that his name is Kyle Croft. He does Croft designs in Ohio, and I reached out to him and said, like, I have a vectored image. I'd really like to have a barrel head. And so he went through and he designed it, and it came off. And I was like, oh, could you make it a little darker? Because I really like it to be like somewhat close to the bar. I wanted more of a walnut stain, and he did it. So if you look above it, you see this like Marine Corps thing, right? I'm going to put it up there. I have a Marine Corps one behind it, right?
Oh, yeah.
Then over to the side, I actually have a burnt American flag that's tattered that has the Pledge of Allegiance on it, right? So all I did was I asked him to make me the Bourbon Battalion vectored image on the barrelhead. And he said, hey, you know what? Is this, he's a subscriber. He's like, is this going in HQ? And I said, yeah. So I paid for this right here.
If you come to Colorado, we'll make more of those for you.
The other two he gave me for free.
Oh yeah, that's good.
He hooked me up and he's like, hey, just plug me. So Croft Designs out of Ohio.
By the way, I can't thank you enough for your service, brother.
Hey, dude, I am so proud to have served. Thanks for saying that. If they called me tomorrow and said, hey, we need you, my battalion would be shut down. I'd be serving.
Yeah.
I'm a multi-generational Marine. I'm also a multi-generational military person. I have every branch represented in my military and my family, every branch, Coast Guard included, right? And let's be
my wife is an Army veteran, so you know.
You know what? Listen, if you've taken the time, and I've said this a million times and I'll never stop saying it, if you signed, you know what you were given away that day. And if you happen to be alive, there is no way you expected to. You just didn't. I mean, like the Marine Corps, Marine Corps is,
you knew, but you didn't know.
The Marine Corps is a unique thing, right? So I can only talk about the Marine Corps. The one thing I know about the Marine Corps is that everybody, no matter what your job is, whatever your billet is, whatever, we're the only branch of the United States military that everybody is trained infantry. Now, does that mean that I served infantry? I did 2.5 years, but did I go in to be an 03? No, I did not. I did not go in to be an 03 infantryman. I went in to be a 2800 telecommunications electronics guy. I was a platoon sergeant in the infantry for 2.5 years. that was, but the thing is that you go through the training. So I think a lot of people have this misrepresentation of, if you've ever been on NATO ops, right? So, and I have been. Someone says, why do you think the United States is the most unique military branch? Well, first of all, you have 5 branches. We have one, the Coast Guard is more of like international, like surrounding the U.S., right? They're just defending the U.S. from like drug runners. Actually, outside of war, probably the Coast Guard gets shot out more than anybody of every branch. So if someone says Coast Guard blah, yeah, that's because they're fucktards and they don't understand. They get shot out on a daily basis. When you're talking war, right? War is a different beast. Every branch is the very best of what they do, and not a single branch does the same thing. The Marine Corps doesn't do what the Army does. The Air Force doesn't do what the Navy does. They're all different. Everybody's different. When you go into a NATO theater and you realize all of our allies are not even like, if we are like a 10 out of 10, the next closest one is like a 5. They're just not the same. It's just not the same. We're a 100% voluntary military, and not everybody can say that.
A friend of mine that's in the chat, he's lurking, but he's airborne. He was Army airborne. He jumped out of perfectly good airplanes.
Right.
Yeah, I used to tease him. I mean, I've known him as long as I've been in Vegas, almost 24 years. We worked together and everything, and I used to tease him. I go, I have no problem jumping out of a plane if there's a need.
Yeah.
I said, but you jump out of planes just because somebody said, go. I said,
but that's the thing, right? You're told.
Ooh, it's 2 to 3 to 4 for the record. I just got an update.
Who's
yeah,
winning?
there's 526.
Who is?
Trev's winning.
That's
Oh,
what I thought, but I was waiting for a confirmation.
I'm hoping so bad that Dan wins.
I'd like to see Dusty Dan win, but
I just want it for nothing more than he's a Marine. I just want him to like absolutely slap the Army guy.
Yeah, have you seen his old stream?
Told you, I got an Army guy in the chat here.
That's okay. I love him. I can talk shit to my fellow brothers.
So his old videos were him doing different like training videos and stuff like that in the military.
Well, I'll tell you what. Really,
if you go way back,
before he was Bourbon Ranch, when he was on for Mother's Day with his mom.
Lil's just told me that the last time we were.
What's
that?
Did you watch Mother's Day when he had
Trev?
Yeah.
Bourbon Ranch had his mom on?
Yeah.
And they told the story of why they didn't go to Marine Corps. It was basically because his mom said, they're not nice. Let's go with the Army. And I was on the thing. I was like, I knew it. You wanted to be awesome, and you went with the nice guy.
So my wife, she kept all like, her medals from the Army. I mean, they're whatever they are. They're like achievement medals or whatever.
Yeah.
Not like a Purple Heart, she wishes, but I still appreciate what she does. But yeah, she like one time I brought him out. My son was probably 10 years old. And, I brought him out because I put him in my gun safe. And so that makes her feel good. And then I was like, have you ever seen your mom's like, achievement medals from the Army? And he's like, she got medals? And like, I'm like, let me show you this. And she walks in and I'm showing him her medals. And like, you just see this like pride in her face that I rarely see from my wife, when looking at that, just that I was bragging about her being in the military and I didn't even know she was there. And she's like, and my son goes, were you in the military, Dad? And I'm like, your mom's the only hero in this family. And I turn around and she's there and she's like got a tear going down her face. And, she's like, meant a lot to her. But yeah.
Listen, I do not ever I can't even tell you enough. I love every branch of my United States military. I'm an advocate for every branch, and anybody that truly knows me knows I am. But I'm going to talk shit.
Is it better when I mute my mic, Bourbon? I just want to make sure it's not me.
No, that's just because someone was listening to the background of like the stream that's going on with the Matt Madness. Who's watching Matt Madness?
Not me.
I'm muted on Matt Madness. I don't have anything.
Well, at some point, there was a moment where we could hear Matt Madness in the background.
Yeah, I mean, my son's making like lightsaber noises in the background. So
Yeah.
I think Bourbon's talking about at his place. I think they're throwing a party.
No, I heard it. I heard
And
what
we
he,
weren't invited as usual.
I heard what he was talking about. But I think for me the thing is that like I feel like pretty comfortable. Like I'll razz Trev all day long because he razzes me. He can't quit talking about like me eating crayons, right? And you know what? I get it. They have to figure out some way to make themselves feel better.
yeah,
The thing for sure, right?
I mean, it's a 4-letter word.
Exactly. So I'm just giving him shit. Like, hey, listen, realistically, Trev was a dude. He was a dude. But like tonight, I was on there, like I super chatted on there and I was like USMC and he's like, battalion, you need to go and just do push-ups. And I was like, oh, that's right. You guys only do push-ups. How about you doing a pull-up? He's like, he knew what I was talking about. I was like, yeah, Marine Corps has to do pull-ups. You guys just do push-ups. I could do
Pull-ups are tough.
So I have a question for Anthony. Nothing to do with military. Sorry, Bobby, but I do love your stories, buddy. I do love your stories.
It's just funny. We're just talking shit.
Yeah. But Anthony, do you have a moment that revolves around having a drink with somebody, be it your dad, your uncle, your somebody when a kid was born, something like that you just remember that was like one of the best whiskey moments of your life?
So it was a time, and this is sound weird, but we're at the fraternity house. So this is 30 years ago. But sitting in my room.
10 years ago, Anthony.
Oh, well, I'm older than you guys. But anyway, and an alumni came in and brought a bottle. And I don't remember what it was, but it wasn't Jack Daniels. It wasn't Jim Beam. It wasn't Kessler's, nothing like that. None of that top shelf stuff that I was used to. This was like unreachable. And we were sitting in my room and, I had a coffee cup, I didn't have a Glencairn, but just sitting in there and I'm like, man, this is doesn't burn, but it was 100 and some proof. I don't remember the exact, but I know it was at least 100 proof or more. And I'm like, this doesn't burn. It actually has flavor. It has taste. And I remember that. I just can't remember what it was, and it's like, no. But that's what kind of, at that particular point in time, I wasn't quite sure on my bourbon journey of exactly what was good, what was bad, what was indifferent, what I wanted, what I didn't want. But that's when I knew I appreciated a good whiskey. And at that time, I was more into scotches. I really was.
Yeah.
I liked the scotch. Bourbons came after the scotch. And just like a friend of mine that was in the Army sent me a text on the phone. He goes, I thought you were into scotch. No. So people don't know, all bourbon and scotches, they're a whiskey, but not all whiskeys are bourbon or scotches. So they're different blends to get to what they are. Let's put it that way.
Sure.
So one of the things that I would love to do and that we're talking about is that we're going to educate people. Look, all whiskeys aren't the same. In other words, what you think. All bourbons are whiskeys, but not all whiskeys are bourbons. And then there's American whiskey. And then they think, well, what's bourbon? Or what? They don't understand. Well, Canadian whiskey is different than American whiskey, is different than Australian whiskey or Japanese whiskey. So, when you're new to the game or don't really know because you've never really gotten into it, there's a difference. And so hopefully with what I know, Mike, and I know what Bobby, is when we start venturing into some of these and have particular guests come to the lounge instead of this is the forum that we've got today, and we pick a topic in a particular bourbon that might be something that or it could be Japanese, what is it, hibiki? One of you may have and go,
Hibiki, yeah.
yeah, let's talk about that. And okay, great. We'll go over that and explain the difference between bourbon, American whiskey, Scotch, and then let's just say the Japanese, because I really want to let people know whiskey is a lot more than what they think it is. And even Scotches, when you get into Highland Scotches or Speyside,
Yeah.
Isla, they're totally different. Even though it's a Scotch, they don't taste alike. It's like
Scotch
chocolate.
can go from very whiskey to like that's a whiskey.
Band-Aids and
That's
iodine.
funky. Yeah, that's funky.
Band-Aids and iodine.
Yep.
But exactly. But that's what I like. And then having this type of a discussion in the forum that you have, Mike, and when you have your thing on, Bobby, it doesn't make a difference your level of experience.
Right.
None of us care about that. You want to know, or you want to learn, or you have a question,
Right.
come to the channels. Like I say, have a seat, relax, ask a question. We'll tell you. If we don't know, somebody in this chat's going to know. But that's what I like about this. I mean, truthfully, that's what I like about that.
Yeah.
Well, somewhere along the lines, right? You're going to have like people that are going to have access to things that you like. I'm in a state controlled.
Oh my gosh!
There's going to be things I've never even heard of, and I have. There's things.
Hold on.
After
wait do you see this? Look how lucky we get.
Look.
I mean, come on.
Those glasses make you look like Spider-Man.
He might think he is.
Why do you see this?
Turn off your YouTube. Turn off your YouTube.
Yeah, you get these rookies on here, Bourbon
Yeah,
Battalion.
you ever been on a live before, Bono?
He might.
I know he's got YouTube on somewhere. There, it's off.
He's
Hey, I'll be
figuring
right
it out.
back, Anthony.
Yeah, give him a second. He's figuring it out. I could see it in his glasses. So
My
I
wife
just
left
don't
her
know how,
glasses up on my desk, so
I don't know how we get so lucky to get big league bourbon over here. Wow.
He's got a haircut and everything. Look how fresh that haircut is.
I trimmed it up today. It's not that fresh.
Well,
What's up, Chris?
Not too much. How about you?
Dude, I've been waiting for you. I got Bobby here. I had Mike here. Adam
I'm
popped
just-
in.
I know. I was just trying to be a
Bourbon's
professional
throwing a
player.
party.
I heard that.
Yeah.
I heard we weren't invited to his cool parties, but we're not all New York.
That's funny.
Well, I'm sure if we fly there, he'll hook us up.
Yeah, well, they are still kind of shut down. I don't know if I want to go there.
Are they?
I think so.
Are they still in lockdown? I mean, they're still trying to.
Listen. In Ohio, if you go and get your vaccination, even if it's the first one, you're in the running for getting for the next 5 weeks $1 million a week.
I saw that on television.
That's actually true. That is the most retarded thing I've ever seen in my entire life. I'm
What
pretty
about
sure
$1 million a week?
they could literally take that $5 million and like, how about putting in like some of the towns and the little businesses that you absolutely destroyed. So in Ohio, if you have a vaccination, you're in the running for the next 5 weeks, and each week they will pick winner to win $1 million. They will also pick a person at a certain age that can win a full 4-year college tuition state scholarship.
Oh yeah. For the kids. Yeah.
They're basically just like throwing away tax dollars to get you vaccinated, like a lottery.
All right, I got to get another pour here.
It is stupid.
Pretty shameful.
It is so irritating. I'm like, you got to be kidding me.
Yeah, there's a couple.
If I win $1 million, you can bet I'm going to take $500,000 and go downtown, and like 3 of the businesses that close, I'm going to donate it to them.
Oh yeah, there's
They were
There's
great
a couple-
businesses.
Yeah, there's a couple states that are giving out like free hunting licenses, free fishing licenses, free tickets, to minor league baseball games and stuff like that, like season ticket packages if you go get vaccinated. I'm just like, what?
There's so many things. I mean, it's like stupid. Why should I be able to win $1 million? Because that doesn't make sense to me.
There's a lot going on that don't make a lot of sense.
Yeah, it's just like the most annoying thing I've ever heard in my life.
Well, hey, I guess Ohio's got money they can give out.
Well, yeah, I just got my taxes done, so yes, they must. Because I have to put out the nose. I mean, I'm not in California, but they're definitely hitting the higher tax brackets, that's for sure.
All right, I'm back.
Feel better?
I do.
Well, that's all that counts.
What are you eating on, Mike?
Peanut butter filled pretzels.
Oh, dude,
Those are addicting.
I've never been so hungry right now until you said that.
Yeah, I was getting a little bit of the munchies. I wasn't really hungry, but I like to make sure I have some.
I can tell you, you know what my munchy palate cleanser is? If I need to have a palate cleanser, me and the Gunny both use these. We take old things and do oyster crackers.
Oh, yeah.
Oyster crackers are the best palate cleansers out there.
Although if you're drinking whiskey, they make you thirsty.
I just drink more.
That's what your bottle of water is for, dude.
That doesn't slow me down.
I was like, excuse me.
Almonds are also another thing to cleanse your palate.
Do you think I need to get further past the neck on that?
I would. I just poured the 4.
Is there even a
Discovery.
question?
Yeah, I just poured the 4.
Forgate?
Wait, I feel thirsty.
Discovery 4.
What pop are you drinking tonight, Chris? Coffee?
Coffee. Yeah, I'm trying to get this drawing done since I fell behind with my kid being in the ER last night.
Oh, sorry to hear that. Is it all good or
3 stitches. It was not a big deal, but it
Time
took
consuming.
7 hours. Took 7 hours.
yeah?
I told everybody why you weren't streaming.
Yeah. This is
So
stupid.
like everybody's like,
The-
he'll do anything to get out of it.
Right. Yeah. No.
Hmm?
It's because I joined you too, man.
Yeah, right?
That right there is because he's like tired and his eyes are wrecked. He's like, look at me. Now I look fresh and hip. I'm just
Yeah, no shit. No shit. I look like shit right now.
It's funny because I talked to Shits the other night, and he's like, I was up till 2 a.m. I'm like, who was in there with you? He goes, Bobby, Chris, Bourbon. I'm like, God dang, that's like 4 a.m. for Bobby and Bourbon.
That was 30 for me and Ben. We've
Yeah, that's
literally
crazy.
closed your stream more than you guys have.
And then my puppy, gets up really early after her surgery. She's getting up at like 4:30, and my wife is like she goes to bed at 8. Like it doesn't matter if I stay up till 1 or if I stay up till 10, right? Like she goes to bed at 8. And she's like, your turn. I'm like, honey, I went to bed at 1:30. She goes, do you have a problem?
And you go, no, dear.
I'm like, yes, I have a problem. I don't want to get up right now.
It's a problem. I need more cowbell.
Yeah.
That's so funny.
So the Discoveries 2, 3, and 4, they're all good. Definitely would tell you to add them to your bar.
Have you
Now
done
I'm
a
on the
blind on those yet, Anthony?
Yeah, I closed my eyes every time I drank one.
Yeah, I got
But-
1 and 1 and 2. I don't have 3 or 4.
I don't have one in
I
the
love
fusion.
I like. Oh, I don't. I gotta get the fusions.
I have 1 and 3.
In fusion or discovery?
Fusion.
Okay, I don't have one. And I don't have discovery one.
I don't have any discoveries.
Oh,
Okay, Chris, the girl on the left,
Yeah.
is she a Kardashian?
Yes, sir.
Nailed it.
So I must have done it pretty well so far, and I'm still not done with all the shading, but yeah. So good. You recognize that.
I mean,
so.
she looks a little skinny for the real Kardashian, but
I'm like sitting here thinking, I was like, damn, Mike, are you talking like Anthony's, like the Kardashians? Until I realized that you're talking about something totally different.
Yeah.
no, he sent me a copy of his drawing. It's really great. We need a idea for a hat, like one of your hand drawn logos for a couple hats, man.
Wow.
It's in process, buddy.
I know. I'm patient. Don't worry. Ask Bourbon.
You are not patient. Bourbon's patient.
Bourbon's
been
party.
holding that Alberta cask strength rye for at least 2 weeks now.
Dude, you're really worried about Alberta cask strength rye?
No, I have a Jack Daniels. In fact, I like it when he holds it because usually he finds something else that he can ship with it.
And he's talking about bourbon.
Love it, Jim.
Hey, did they announce a winner?
For what?
No, I'm looking to see what's going on. I just switched over.
I heard Jason C a second ago. Someone has set up. I heard Jason C immediately.
So I was joking around with DC today. We were exchanging stuff on Facebook, exchanging messages. And we were talking about with DC, and we were talking about the Battle of Utah. And I go, yeah, here pretty soon we're gonna have to do a Battle of Colorado once Matt gets here.
So Todd Trent just posted the Destination Bourbon at Destination Bourbon. Dusty Dan won.
Oh yeah, it's over.
Oh, yeah.
Dusty Diggler. Did Dan win? Hold on, I got to text him. Let me send him a
Did
text.
you spell Dusty Diggler?
Yeah, someone did. I gotta. Here, let me send him a sec.
Bourbon, am I patient? That's what we asked.
I said Bourbon's patient. So
Yeah, so we're gonna have to have the Battle of Colorado next, but I think Matt's scared. So
You think?
yeah, he doesn't want none
I
of
don't
this.
think Matt's scared of you at all, buddy.
Yeah, he's like Battle of the Colorado, like not against Stahl.
Is that a state?
Yeah. So apparently he's moving to Rifle, Colorado with his wife.
When? I thought they just moved back to Michigan or
No, I don't know what his wife is.
She is a traveling nurse.
Yeah.
So she goes where the best contract is, and usually they're 3 to 6 month contracts, sometimes a little bit longer, sometimes not. So you go where the money's at.
And so I was on, but I think he has family in Colorado.
They might. I don't know.
It's my understanding, according to Julielle, like it's supposed to be a pretty permanent move,
Oh,
but I don't know that for sure. That's what
so
I thought.
maybe that's why he's joining your societies and stuff.
Yeah, he was in the Colorado Bourbon Society Facebook group. I was a little surprised. I saw him. I was like, he's posting in it too. That surprised me.
Well, that sounds like someone that's staying there for a while.
Yeah. But the trippy part is he's been in it since 2019.
Then maybe he does have family there. So
Yeah.
maybe not so trippy. And maybe if I put my glasses on the top of my head, you'll think I'm still looking up the whole time.
Yeah, why are you looking at us like that, man?
Why you gotta give me why you give me side eye, Chris? That's effed off. What the hell?
Ah. Side eye is better than brown eye.
That is absolutely true. That is a fact.
Oh, Kardashian family.
Yeah, that's what I was surprised. I was like, damn, that looks like Kim Kardashian. I didn't know if you did it on purpose.
I did. That was the request.
Wait, hell no, I'm not patient, Bourbon.
I guess that's what he's saying.
Bourbon was going to go get me a 2017 Dusty Booker's if he went back that direction again.
Dude, I
was
told you I can get you every Booker's you want. You just got to want to pay for them.
Yeah, his was like $90 for that one.
Oh,
Yeah, we still have like 2018s and 2017s and stuff on the shelf around here. Like I had somebody today in one of my baseball groups tell me that that new batch that Ben grabbed for you because he got a better deal than I did. That those were going on secondary out in California for freaking $180.
The Bookers?
Yeah, the new one.
Wow.
I'm
The
like,
Donahoe batch?
yeah. I'm like, dude, I'll go buy 10 of them right now, and with tax, be paying like $99. I'll send them to you. Send me half your profit.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Stupid. I don't.
Yeah,
you know, I
Shane
don't-
Long is not wrong.
What do you say?
He said YouTube has rules against this many douchebags in a single stream. Are you going to turn us in, Schlong? Schlong, are you not going to join? Are you not going to join Anthony?
he's on Ken's stream. He's on Ken's stream.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
That's because Lord Schlong likes it down under.
I was talking to Schlong and his wife today on FaceTime.
Nice.
Wow.
Ooh. Was he
Yeah, we're
trying
reported.
to convince you to show up?
No, so apparently I promised a bottle to Women of Whiskey.
You did.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, and I like forgot all about it, but his wife won it.
Oh, no.
And
Oh,
he's like, you
no.
don't have to send it, dude. And I was like, no. Livewire follows through on its promises. I'm like, what did I promise? And he's like, we'll turn it back over to somebody that doesn't have as much whiskey as I have. So I'm like, yeah, because I guarantee it was not as good as any of your old Carters, whatever I promised.
Well, nobody promised any specific bottle. We all promised a bottle.
A bottle, yeah. So he's gonna turn it back over, and we'll find something good.
I just got the message from Dan. He's like, you. He's like you jarhead. Like, nothing makes me happier. I'm literally throwing shade at Trev right now.
Dude, I'm so happy for him. Like, I have followed him since way back when, and me and him talked about doing some stuff together. But like, that guy has been so nice to me since the beginning and so supportive and helpful.
Yeah, Schlong, dude. Shane Long is like, there's so many incredible people here. Like, you know, Chris, you know, is a prime example. Bobby, like, but yeah, I mean, Shane Long, I always tell the story. Like, I won a freaking rare breed from him, and he sends me a Midwinter Nights dram.
I saw an act 8 or was it 7? Scene 7 or scene whatever it was. I actually saw that, but they went like $150 for the bottle.
Yeah.
So I got one of the unlabeled batches of Uncut Unfiltered this week.
That a boy.
What?
Yeah,
Yeah,
they all
they all got a
used to be that way.
Yeah, it's an older batch. It's not one of the new batches because the new batches have the, you know, kind of paperish label on the back.
Yep, you got the good old oldies.
Yeah, so you've got the label on the back. Mine doesn't have that.
I wish I could actually say what I'm saying to the two messages I have going between me and Dusty Dan and me and Trev, but I would absolutely like have to be like modded. I couldn't even say it. There's no way.
Oh, what's the proof? I gotta find it. I can't remember where I put it.
That's
Probably about 117, 118.
Ben, mine's 57.3 ABV.
So 114.6.
Can't remember.
I was going to say 115, I think 116. So
I literally could not remember where the heck I put it.
Boy, wait till you get
I
50,
think
Mike.
I'm
You're
getting
gonna
like
see-
trigger finger in my thumb. It's 750 milliliter.
Well, no kidding.
Oh, 56.99.
You got a windy one.
Oh God.
It does have a label, Ben.
That's so funny.
December of 2020.
My thumb. I don't know why it hurts right here on my thumb.
Don't
Is there a
touch it.
doctor in the house? Oh,
Do you know if you use your left hand and do this?
it's like somebody else is doing it. Yeah.
Well, and also if you put up your left hand, right hand looking at yourself, left hand everybody else, you can talk to your best girl, Jill.
Yeah, Jill.
AILL.
Man, it like hurts. Oh, it
Dude,
pops.
dude, sit on it.
So
Stranger.
56.99% bourbon.
Yours is 56, mine's 57. So
I don't know. Too many lights.
we believe you.
Bourbon's not even listening. He's laying down on his red velvet couch.
He probably had to tend to the party guests.
Hey, the only party in town is Stall.
I'm just saying it says 56.99. I'm going to send it to you. Hi, puppy.
Send it.
Oh, my thumb is killing me.
You know what? You need another drink.
I know, right? Jeez. Bourbon says it's not a valid batch, but I just got it. So
You got a fake bottle. You got a refill, dude.
Oh, when he said send him a pic, no.
Are you
Shane
talking
Long
about
pics.
are you talking about a pic of the bottle or a dick pic?
Yeah. That's what I was saying. No Shane Long pics, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Longo.
You know, it might even tell me on their website which batch it was, I want to say. I think it was an older batch, actually. I thought it was weird that it didn't have a picture on the back, though.
The old ones didn't have anything. And they're technically not that old because they hit the shelves in 2020. Still.
It says it's supposed to be batch 59, but I don't know for sure.
22 says love bourbon, love the dick pics.
See what it says.
All right, guys, it's like midnight. I'm gonna have to jump off because I just got a message from the guy. He said he wants to come down by the fire, and we don't get to do this
again?
as much as you think we would.
Dude, that's awesome. Good time hanging out with you, bro. Good seeing you again, man.
Yeah, anytime, man. I'll always be here to support you, Anthony. Mike,
All right, man. Thanks for jumping on.
Yeah,
Maybe Tony will jump in.
yeah, someone can jump in. All right, cheers, guys.
All right.
See, buddy.
Take it easy.
Yep, cheers.
Holy freaking Kardashians. Never thought I'd be saying that in my life.
I'm sure of that.
Yeah, it's batch 59, bourbon. 56.99%, according to Nevada H&C Distilling.
So for batch 59, they went back to the old bottles?
Apparently.
Because I've seen this batch 60 and 62, stuff like that. They're the new bottles. So it's
Yep,
weird.
this one does not have the label on the back.
Mine's batch 32.
Yeah.
I think I've got 45 and 47.
Both mine were 32.
Yeah,
I have two bottles.
I got mine a couple weeks apart in different parts of the state. So
Yeah, I want to say batch 58 and 59 were like slightly different profile. If I remember watching his video correctly,
well,
it was like 58 and 59 were like a different taste profile than the other ones. Also, maybe that has something to do with it.
yeah, he was switching things up. You're actually going to see the cost go up, because he liked elevator batch so much that he has decided to start using the older distillate in the rest of the uncut unfilters.
Live stream.
Shut him. Do you want some tongue? Adam, you should turn around. Adam, turn it around. You just got tongue. Adam.
Somebody's a little drunk over there, Adam. I hear the way he's talking.
Chris, you sleeping already?
Drawing, dude. Catching up.
You can bring.
All right, we're going for a walk. We're going for a walk. Dig it, Chris. Love those glasses.
Yeah, that's what happens when my wife leaves her stuff sitting around. It comes props.
Fucking
Man,
bug.
I don't know why my thumb hurts right there so bad.
Wait till you have to explain to your doctor why it hurts so bad.
It's my left hand. I'm right-handed, bro.
Exactly. Think about that one again before you say it.
Sometimes
I'm
you got
not good at it. Who would use their left hand if they're right-handed?
the stranger.
Yeah.
Ding, 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 ding.
All right, I'm gonna have one more before I gotta jump.
Hey,
What
Mike.
should I pour?
Hey, Mike. Did you try the Remus 3?
Not yet. Should I pop that?
Nah, wait till Sunday, dude.
Yeah,
Wait till Sunday. What? This is Anthony's first stream.
Yeah, you're right. Pop it. I don't think I'll have mine by Sunday, so go ahead.
No, yours won't be there till Tuesday. It said. Like you're gonna want to drink the Remus with the freaking 6 ounce or 4 ounces of Forgate in there.
True.
You never
What's
know.
up, man?
It is that.
In fairness, you do drink a lot of different things each night.
Yep.
Hey, you got to have a nice repertoire of things to drink.
Hell yeah. Pop it, Mike. Pop it. Don't watch him.
That's right. Pop it. Don't watch it.
I got this at Blade HQ in Utah.
Oh boy.
You know, you need one of those at times to open up some of these things. You
Is that
really
a Kershaw?
do.
Yeah.
Those little bad boys are badass.
And they're California legal.
Yes, they are.
Although I do have a ProTech and
Dude, which Protect do you have?
dude, I'll have to do a freaking. They're away in my things. I've got a. I don't remember. I'll have to bust them out. All right, here we go. Let's see if it's any good. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yo,
I can hear
Remus-
that way over here.
Pop, dude. Remus's pop.
Yeah, that definitely was a good pop. You get some on you?
No, I was just making sure I didn't have any water in the glass. I just rinsed it out.
Well, I tell you what, swishing around between pours, this Perrier, that does good.
Got to get it down past the neck, Anthony.
You need to get it down a little more.
In your mouth.
It was a good. It was not that great.
It was a good pour.
That was a good
Yeah.
pour.
You
Ooh,
gotta-
man, I can smell it without even putting my nose near it.
That's
Yeah.
how that 3 was. I said, I
Mike.
can smell that.
Hey, Mike, can you state the blends on that?
Can I what?
Can you say what the blends are on that? It's like 3 different blends, right?
He has to get a light on in his glasses.
Put on your bifocals, buddy.
It's 12% 2007 bourbon, 78% 2008 bourbon, and 10% 2008 bourbon. And the mash bills are 21% rye, 21% rye, and 36% rye.
Hell yeah.
So it should have a little spice to it.
Yeah, I'll tell you. You can smell it. So this is, I mean, it smells like MGP right out of the gate.
Yeah.
Gotta get it dizzy. Make it dizzy, like
That's right.
a million
Make it
RPMs.
dizzy. That's right. Make
Like
it
I need a million RPMs. That's how many you need. And then you got to put this on top.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. That's right. Hold in them flavors. That's right. Makes the nosings just right.
Yeah, definitely. It smells like MGP for sure. So Hot Buttery Rolls says he thinks that MGP is holding out. Hi, girly. MGP is selling all their good bottles
So I
or
heard
barrels.
I heard that Aaron from Smoke Wagon, he bought before a lot of this stuff. He bought a lot of their older MGP,
You want to say hi?
in advance.
When he started out, he actually went and picked out 10 barrels when they were first put in the barrels after 1 year. And he just got those original 10 sent to him that are now 10 years old. But he purchased them when they were 1 year old and had them stored at MGP until they got to be 10 years old and then sent out to him. But he just got those 10 a couple weeks ago.
This is Jersey. We call her $7,000.
Yeah, I know all about that.
Yeah.
I've spent way more than that on a dog with leukemia.
Oh,
She's a sweet girl, though. See her little.
So one thing
What an
we
IV.
did get for our dog that we have now, we have a golden doodle.
nice.
We went and got pet insurance. We had it on the golden retriever before her, and then we have it on her. I tell you what, the best $40 a month I spend, because there's been many times that thing has saved me thousands.
The hell is that, Adam?
A horse.
Oh, it's a horse.
Yeah.
How
See,
trying
Yeah. Dude, it's a horse.
I don't know.
Horse.
We
I
don't
don't want
wanna
to know
know
what they're doing with horses and whiskey, but the only thing I can think of is that Shane is probably interested right now.
Man, I'll tell you, this smells really good, Adam.
Dude, wait till you taste it.
Guys, you guys seen the Blair Witch Project, right?
It's a freaking candy bar, dude.
I heard it tastes like Dr. Pepper.
Were you on like a whiskey drinking podcast?
So I'm a little like I just got done with the Bardstown. Like, have you ever had it where it kind of goes away on the end and then all of a sudden it comes flying back?
Yep.
Because I was gonna say it was quick compared to the Bardstown, but then all of a sudden it I'm like, whoa, there it is again.
Yep.
It's definitely not as hot as the Bardstown, but it's only 100 proof. You do get that kind of like there is a bit of a baking spice or yeah, you definitely get like that. Yeah, definitely. There's a rye hint to it, but it's not like the it's not like the pumpkin bread or whatever rye you get with like Rendezvous or whatever. It's good. It goes down pretty easy. I'm not gonna lie.
So you're saying just like that 3?
Yeah, I mean, I would say it's pretty close to what that Bardstown 3 is. Yeah.
Yeah, that Fusion 3 is really crushing.
What are you chewing on?
That's 100 proof though, Mike. That's fucking pretty good for that, right?
Yeah, no, it's really good.
Hell yeah, dude. I'm stoked.
Hey, Jim, it has to do with drinking and horses. That's all I know, but I can tell you Shane would probably approve right now.
Shane asked if it was the Blair Witch stream.
Dude, we're hiking behind this cabin. We're seeing horses and fucking cows.
It's the
There's
Blair
bulls,
shit
some big ass balls. Hey, my buddy that's been on a couple of our live streams. What's your name on there, Henry? Cheap Whiskey. He's right in front of me right now.
I don't recognize him with his shirt on.
Cheap Whiskey, let's see you.
How's it going? What's going on?
There he is. There he is.
Oh, sure. Blind him.
There you go, Stall. Stall, I thicken that ass up for you.
Rocking the
There
best.
you go, buddy.
Sorry, guys. I don't want to intrude on the stream, so I'll keep muting myself.
No, you're all good. But
Is that better there, Stall?
Yeah, that looks more like her.
Okay. Thicken that back up.
You got to feel good that I freaking called who it was, though, right? Like,
Dude, no, seriously. That makes me feel good. Absolutely feel good.
yeah, no, it's the cheekbones, man. It totally looks like her.
I think Stan's going home to bed.
Hey, Swaginator.
What's going on?
Swagmeister.
Swag,
Yeah.
Swag in a basket.
So what'd you find for JD?
Stanley Wag looks fucked up.
Actually, I only found one bottle for him. He wanted an arrogant bastard.
The beer?
He wanted the arrogant bastard whiskey.
Oh.
So I got that for him, and then
Stanley is slurring, so I know something's up.
okay, then I got Stall sent Distillers. Distillers Collection Ezra Brooks for JD, and then I'm sending him a Rebel Distillers Collection, and then the Four Roses I got him last week, and then his wife is going to meet up with me tomorrow for me to give her the bottles because he wants her to be able to photograph them before she sends them off to him. And then I got to give her a bunch of samples for Ken so they can send them to Ken in the next couple of weeks.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Ken needs a lot of beard oil and hair tonic.
Stanley, where are you right now, dude? I've never seen this view of you.
I'm in my car driving back from hunting.
From drinking?
No, hunting.
And drinking.
No drinking, just hunting. Is anybody looking for RC6s?
What does RC6 stand for?
That's the wood batch that came before the SC4 PR5.
Oh, the makers?
PR549.
No. Yeah.
You're in the Undertaker.
Yeah, I like the RC6. I would take one.
I say because there's 60. I found a place that's got 4 bottles for 65 apiece.
Yeah, I'll take one. I'll Venmo you. Let me know if you're going back.
All right, and then they also had they had Smoke Wagon, Uncut Unfiltered Batch 47 for 80, so the price has gone up. And then what was the other one? Oh, if you want an OFC, I can get one for $3,500.
I don't want one.
I mean, I
Is it
figure
90
Stahl would want it.
Is it a 94 or 95?
95.
Got to be a 94 for that price.
Okay, that's what Bourbon said.
Yeah.
But
All right.
let's see.
Anthony, I'm
Trying to
gonna
think-
have to jump. I promised Ken that I would be on his stream tonight as well. So, but hey, awesome first stream, man.
Oh,
This
yeah.
was great.
We'll work it out.
Yeah, thank you so much for inviting me to be on. I really
Yep.
appreciate it. I'm excited that you can do it.
Yeah, it looks like that the platform's good. Just a few more tweaks, but we'll be fine. All
No,
right,
you
man.
did awesome. You did great, man. This was really good. And I mean, dude, you had like 11 and 12 people with ADHD live at the same
I
time.
was up to 16. Yeah.
Yeah, 16 with ADHD live. Like that was awesome.
Yeah, exactly.
So very cool. Very cool. I hope we see you guys over at Ken's stream later.
Yeah, we'll be flowing over there, guaranteed.
All right. See you
Yeah.
guys.
All right. See you later.
See you over there, Swags. I'm sure you'll be on.
Yeah, as soon as I get home, I'm gonna pour. I got some new bottles from JD today, so I'm gonna some pouring and drinking. So
Very cool.
Nice.
I'll be around.
All right, buddy. See you.
Sugar Kitty, thanks for popping in.
Yeah, JD sent me a Elijah Craig rye, a rye 3 rum cask, and a mini pinhook.
Oh yeah.
Hey, Chris
Okay.
Luddick,
Yo,
Chris, do a bottle chug.
do a bottle chug.
Yeah.
Got my bottle out.
Bottle
You
chug.
got called out.
Well, you want a real one?
Get back to the. I'll do a bottle chug.
Hey, Stanley, I'll take one of those OFCs.
Oh yeah, you gonna Venmo me? Well, the guy, it's fine. It's 3,500 cash. It's the only way the guy will sell it.
Okay, I'll Venmo you 50 now. I'll Venmo you 50 now. I'm good for the rest.
You know, truthfully, Adam, if I had it and I could do it, I would. But unfortunately, I had to limit myself to $25. Oh, I'm sorry, to $50 total this weekend for myself. So, unfortunately,
Dude, I'm just joking. Yeah, I don't want that
I know.
fucking OFC. No way.
yeah. So, so if I don't get it out first thing in the morning, Monday your bottles will be headed towards you.
You had to
Okay, I
pop
guess
out.
he.
But I
Yeah.
saw.
So anybody, if there's, yeah.
Go ahead.
Dude, this is really cool that you've been on for over 2 hours. I mean, I thought because when you contacted me earlier, I thought it was something where you were just testing out a stream. You're going to go on for like 30 minutes, and then so I was
No,
like,
it
okay,
just-
well, let me.
Yeah, it just rolled on and on and on. And then people kept jumping in and on. And, Bourbon Battalion was here. Of course, Mike was. Then Chris popped on. You popped on. Whiskey Shits was off and on. So, yeah, it's just been busy. Just people popping in saying, hey. And like I said, we're going to head over to Ken's in a little bit because we have to go over there. And then I'll see him again in the morning when I get out for his second part.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, so are you going to be getting back to work anytime soon, or are you just going to go ahead and just stay a kept man for a little while longer?
I do like being a kept man. However, I am putting my applications out there. But, when you get to be a certain age and with so many years experience, and now with this economy, they're really cutting back on the pay, particularly the positions. And so they're looking at people that are willing to do the work 80 plus a year job for 40 to 50,000. And there's people that are going to jump on it. but I'm not going to go back to a major strip property for something like that.
Anthony, what do you do?
I'm a health and safety compliance. I do OSHA, health department, fire department, city inspection. Yeah. So, yeah, I'm not going to go. Yeah, no. I do have my application in another property that I work for. Well, I used to work for MGM, not MGM Hotel, but I worked at the Monte Carlo. So that's part of MGM Inc., let's say.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a couple of openings there within the other properties, and I put in there. But I really think if I get a call and I get an offer, I think they're really going to try to undercut it. And they have 10,000 plus employees. No, I have no problem in going somewhere making $15 an hour. And I'm being sarcastic, but saying, hey, you want fries with that shake? I don't want to be the boss anymore. That's what it's coming down to. Hey, Mark, I see you pop back in. Make sure you tell the wife.
Man.
But I'm not sure I'm going to do it. Like I said, I don't know. I've got a few things going out there, and I've actually had people reach out to me. So I've sent them my resume. Kind of got in the hut, but when they did the final selection, you get the letter that says, "Hey, we decided to move forward, but we picked another group of people." That's fine with me.
Yeah. Yeah, I've been through a lot of that too. That's why I was glad I went back to the screen printing shop and stuff like that. There's way too many people doing what I do that are willing to cut their throat and make nothing, thinking somebody's going to pay them in the long run. Right now, that just want to get their foot in the door.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not going to work for free.
Well, that's just it.
Yeah.
Like I said, if I'm going to go back, you know what? Okay. I'll go and like I said, I'll ask them, do you want to shake with those fries or whatever? I'm not. Yeah, I am not going to. I'm not going to give my services away. I'll change to do something else where I just do my 8 and hit the gate.
Yeah. Yeah. Because with what I do. There's so many young kids coming out of school and stuff that just will do anything for a job. They'll take and do this stuff, and they'll work for somebody for a salary making $12 an hour right now and work 16-hour weeks because they don't know any better. And these people aren't getting great quality work out of them, but they've got a workhorse that's going to pump out so much stuff that something's going to click and be worth it. Yeah. And I see it all the time, and I'm just like, okay, cool. Not me. I'm not going there, I value what I do too much. I've worked with a lot of high-end places in my life and been sought after by them. I'm not going to go back to saying, oh, yeah, $12 an hour, but I've made a hell of a lot more. No, it's not happening. I make more working for myself at that point.
Yeah, well, then the thing is too is I'm starting to get back into, now that I'm allowed to go into places, do some photography and helping some people out with some video projects and stuff like that. But I just do the shooting. I don't do any of the editing. I have people that do that for me. But it's now they're like, oh well, last time you did this, you did it for this much, but we have an offer for literally half of what I was charging, and I was already charging low. I mean, because I'm just getting into the business, and now they're undercutting me by 50%. I was like, screw it, I ain't doing it. I'm not going to go back to doing it. I'm just going to do it for myself. And then if somebody needs some work done by me, somebody needs some photos taken, some graduation pictures and stuff like that, cool. We'll agree up front to what the price is, and then I'll just do one-offs and make a little money on the side, taking high school photos and freaking doing graduation videos and shit. If that's the case.
And that's what it's come down to. It's that so many people willing to sell their soul for a couple bucks. I'm just not that desperate.
Yeah, it's like my nephew. My nephew's a freaking awesome editor, and he's like 22, 23 years old, and people were paying him like freaking $500-$600 to do like a 5-minute video when he was in high school, and now he's got like, you know, he's really good at it. He's been going to school for it, and they're like, oh well, can you do this commercial for me? Can you do this? I need a 3-minute spot on freaking local TV, and they're offering him like $300. He's like, wait, you just paid me $500 for a freaking 30-second spot a year ago. Now you won't even pay me that?
Right.
He's like, nah, screw that. I'm not doing this shit no more. He just quit doing it altogether. He does it for himself. Whenever somebody asks him and gives him the right price, he does it. If not, he just goes to his regular 9-to-5 job and then does it as a hobby.
Yeah, and I got that way for a while. I got out of all this for a little bit, because I was just like, I'm not going to do it for this stuff. So what I did was just start doing what I wanted to do, and just doing some of my own like little passion project things. And it was funny. I started getting hit up by all the right kind of people because I was actually doing what I wanted to do and what I love to do. And getting paid accordingly for it because they came to me, so I got to set the price instead of me going to them looking for it. And that's almost where it's got anymore because, like I said, there's just too many people out there that are willing to do whatever they can to make that couple extra bucks.
Yeah, definitely. And it does suck. It makes me mad because I was really getting into doing the whole video thing and shooting pictures and people wanting, people seeing that picture I took from somebody else. Somebody says, "Hey, this guy did this for me for this much," and then they're like, "Okay, well, that's a little high, but maybe talk to the guy," and then paying me like, I'm not a professional in any way, shape, or form, but they're paying me good money to come do stuff like graduation parties or graduation videos or whatever, and now they got all these kids that just get out of high school and stuff doing all this stuff for them, and it's just like they're doing it for like $75 to do a freaking photo shoot. It's like, dude, it cost me $75 to get to the photo shoot.
It gets hard. It does. And one day, all these kids that are doing that will realize that it happens to them after they're really doing it professionally, and they'll be pissed off. And they don't realize they're part of the problem. It's just like in what we're talking, supposed to be talking about, but bourbon. You got all these people who have got into bourbon, in the last year. That all of a sudden have just discovered the secondary market for the first time. So we're watching shit like, come on, I love Lux Row products more than most people. So I've always collected the Blood Oaths. But all of a sudden, out of nowhere, last year, Blood Oaths sat on the shelf all the way until December.
Yeah.
They just did. People were like, $100 for, a Lux Row. I'm not paying that. Now they came out, and the minute they hit the shelves, people buy them. They're selling for $300 to $350 here on the secondary market.
Yep. Pack 7 went for the guy today just said I got Pack 7's coming in a couple days. I'm like, how much? And he's like, $300. I'm like, nah, fuck that. I'm done.
Yeah. I like them, but
not $300 worth.
No. I don't need a 98 bottle that's in a little wooden case for $300.
I think my Pack 6 was maybe $129.
I paid $99 for mine at Penny's, and I was good with that. I
300. Yeah, no.
Dude, I got offered a 2 the other day, to fill out my collection, but I got offered a 2 for $240. I told the guy, no, I won't pay over 200.
Yeah.
And he got mad at me and stuff. I'm like, dude, you've had it listed forever at 300. Nobody's touched it. I'm like, now you tell me 240 and I tell you 200 and you're telling me you need me bad. I'm paying 100. I'm paying you more than it's worth at 200.
Yeah.
For me, it's a novelty on my shelf and something I'm going to have a little bit of here and there, but it's not something. It's not a $200 drink.
I'll see you guys in a little bit on Ken's stream.
Okay.
Yeah. But it's just one of those things.
Yeah, it's not worth it.
It's just got crazy.
Yeah.
With all these guys jumping on, and they're like, they're looking at bourbon as, their version of Dogecoin or Bitcoin because they haven't got into that, so they're playing the bourbon game that way. And we're seeing stupid bottles get ridden up. Like I'm seeing guys on secondary who have no clue what they're doing that are going out and buying stuff that like, okay, whatever, stuff you can go get on the shelf basically if you're willing to drive somewhere, but like not something allocated or something hard to find, but you might have to drive to 2 or 3 stores depending on your area.
Yeah.
And they're marking that stuff up like 40% and trying to sell it. And there's idiots buying it because they see it on secondary, so they think it's worth something.
I always get it confused, but I can still get, I think it's Fusion 2, and it might be 3, but anyway, for about $55. And it's either Discovery 2 or Discovery 3 for about $119.
Yeah. And that's a freaking killer bottle.
And they are. I've just had Fusion 2, 3, and 4 tonight. And then I just drank Discovery 4. And when I go over to Ken's, I'm going to have a little Glenfiddich 12.
Nice.
I'm going to pop that. A friend of mine that popped into the chat, he was on there. He got me that for my 50th birthday. He's the survival scientist, he calls himself.
Okay.
But,
that's awesome.
He got me that. Him and his wife got me that for my 50th birthday a couple years ago. So,
well, here's another one for you. On that note, Shane Long knows this. I picked up a Bardstown Prisoner, the original one, because
the first one,
because there was a store around here that put it on closeout because they knew their new ones were coming and wanted to get it off the shelf for some reason. Don't know why.
Do they have any more of them?
No, I got the last one.
Okay.
That was a 1. I know where one is. I know where one is at retail though, and it's a 1. 129.
Oh, they're not being here. The new Prisoner is 159 or 169, depending upon where you go.
Yeah, the new one here came out at 129. So last weekend, like I said, I bought that last one of batch 1 that was out there. I scored it for under MSRP because they were trying to clear it out. Like I said, it was an end of bin, so I got it for $79.99. Not going to complain.
No.
Now that thing sat on the shelf for a year and a half. Okay, the new batch comes out. I know of 10 cases that rolled out in this area. They all sold out in the first day. And it's all because of hype of other channels, stuff getting out there and talking about it and pushing it. Because, like I said, last year's I picked up a week ago. I got one of those too.
Yeah, I haven't opened this yet.
Yeah, that one's really good. It keeps on changing.
Yeah, so I haven't opened it yet. Yeah. But the Prisoner's here, and I've seen it at a few places.
Yeah, if you like Merlot, if you are a red wine fan,
I am not. I'm one of the few Dagos that don't like wine.
You might not like the Prisoner then.
Yeah. So that's why I'm hoping to get a sample of it. And then
I'll hook you up.
All right.
But all I'm going to tell you with that is it's a Merlot. That's a bourbon. Okay, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I got you. It's very wine forward.
Yeah, the finishing took over. Like your palate, is freaking wine, and it's a Merlot. And I love really dry Merlot. Just dry that makes your lips kind of smack and you really get that heavy fruit. So it's great for me. I think it's awesome. But there's a lot. I would say your regular bourbon drinker is not going to enjoy this one at all.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not because it's Dickel. Okay, you do not taste the quote unquote minerality or the Dickel or anything like that. It's so wine forward on the palate that if you love red wine, you're gonna absolutely dig this. If you don't, I think it's too much finish for someone who does not like wine. And for me, like I said, I think it's cool to have a bourbon that's wine forward just because it's so different that I can have a different type of pour. Or for like my mom, who thinks some of the bourbons are okay but doesn't really dig them, but she's a very big wine connoisseur. She's got a killer collection. This is something I could give her and she'll sip on and go, oh damn, I love this, and want to keep on drinking it.
That's how I feel about Fusion 2, 3, and 4, and then this Discovery 4. Oh my God.
Yeah. I got to get that Discovery 4. You guys all keep on telling me how awesome it is. And my problem was I waited too long for my main store that had it to go pick it up. Like a dummy.
It is really heavy in the dark fruit fig taste, sweetness. It's really, really. I'm just telling you, in my opinion, it's good. It's worth going out, adding it to your bar, and then going, yeah, I'm going to find the second one because I'm going to drink the crap out of this one. And that's
where I screwed up, like I was saying, because one of my favorite middle of nowhere stores had two of them sitting on the shelf at $1.15 a bottle. Then I was like, and my guy was like, don't worry about it. They'll still be here. Nobody's going to buy that stuff here. We're not that kind of area, that kind of town, it's not going to be a big thing. I'm like, okay, well, I'll wait. I went back there the other day to get them because
gone.
I had nothing better to do than make that drive. Yep. Get out there. They gone. Yep. They gone. He's like, yeah, some guy I've never seen before came in here and bought every high-end thing we had and was raving about it was all under MSRP and he was going to make a fortune. I'm like, oh, great. So somebody playing the secondary game found this store and has decided this is going to be his new secondary honey hole. I'm like, that just ruined this place for me.
Yeah, I can understand that. Are you planning on popping over to Ken's?
Yeah, I'm gonna stop by. I'm still doing these drawings here for it's a sticker, a tater sticker for a group that I really should have been done with yesterday, but with my son ending up in the ER for 7 hours, and that was just that was horrible because seriously he needed 2 stitches.
Oh, I know.
We ended up getting 3, but it was that freaking long. And they weren't even full.
Well, it's funny. I worked in the emergency room, and so I kind of understand. And we've had instances where we weren't full. There were some serious cases going on, which caused hours of backup sitting in the waiting room because those people aren't in dire need.
Right.
So unfortunately, they wait. But depending on how old your son is,
5.
they have, they're in dire need. In other words, to them, it's terrible. But we didn't have to worry about children. We would have sent you across the way. Children's Hospital was literally like across the porte cochere. So you walked the other side of the driveway, you were at Children's Hospital.
Yeah.
So chances of me seeing you were slim to none. But
yeah.
Well, I appreciate you showing up.
Yeah, for sure.
I'll be doing this again. And like I was telling the guys earlier, the formats that you do, the format that Livewire Whiskey does, and Mash Bill and Whiskey Knows, that's the format I like. That's what I want. Yeah. But I'm also going to tailor a little bit and have specific interviews with
Right,
people.
right. And that's where
like
my
you
bread
do.
and butter is, there's a lot of guys doing the pub type thing, and I don't mind it as being part of my
No.
show, but I want to bring something different to it that brings everybody to the place
Together.
and
Exactly.
and gets you to hang out, and then it's like, oh, hey,
Yeah.
we're gonna hang out for a little while, so whoever wants
Yeah.
to be in, and that's why I do that, and that's why it's fun.
And it is. And, this went on a lot longer than I anticipated.
They do.
Just for the
They
people
do.
popping in
Yeah.
and chatting, which is great. And mostly this was a test to make sure that things worked out. Some things didn't in the beginning. It took a few minutes to figure out, and I don't know exactly why or what, but it was just one of those things that just didn't work.
Yeah, and don't worry about that, man. Those are little things that do work themselves out super freaking quick.
Well,
like I made a ton of mistakes that I shouldn't have made, and it was just me not preparing ahead of time, should I say? Like I was just like, oh, this is all just gonna flow super easy.
I thought so too, and I even set time up with Mike, and we were going to come on about 15 minutes before to make sure certain things happened.
Yeah.
Well, Mike had to deal with an issue from work,
Mm-hmm.
and so I was like, okay, I can get through this. So everything was working. So when I hit live stream or to start the live stream, it just didn't click.
Yep.
So I'm kind of talking and chatting with the people that are in there. I'm not live unless you were actually on StreamYard.
Right.
It wasn't going to YouTube. So then I looked up and realized I hit to start the stream, but it just wasn't working.
Yeah.
So anyway,
I had
to hit it a couple times, and then it finally caught up and switched. I'm like,
Yep.
oh,
I did the same thing and was just shaking my head at myself going, how did I just do that?
Yeah. Well, now I know what to look for.
Yeah. And there's little things that you don't think to look for,
And I wasn't looking at that once I hit the button. I was done
Right.
with it. But
And
I've
that's
been in
how
the
I
Mac
was.
world,
Yeah. I thought it
and
was
I
all
just
good.
recently got back into Windows. And
Okay.
so it's been driving me crazy for about a month.
Yeah, I jumped over to the Windows world after being Mac my whole life for a little bit, and I had to go back.
Yeah.
I have an amazing, unbelievably amazing Windows setup, just sitting, doing nothing because it did not click with the way my brain thinks when it comes to computers, because I've been using an Apple since the Apple IIc.
Oh, yes.
So, I mean, I'm as old school as it gets with it. So,
I remember seeing in school the original Apple in the Gates room.
Yeah.
With the 6-inch floppy disk.
Uh-huh. Yep. That's what
I don't know if it even had one of those. I have to think. But
it should
was
have.
a huge thing sitting on a desk there, like
yes.
Huge compared to now.
And I still have my Apple IIc, by the way.
You should. And it probably will still turn on.
It does. It does.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's very crazy how that works, but it's a fantastic machine. I don't know, but trying to switch over to Windows after all those years being on one platform, and I use Windows. Don't get me wrong. It's faster, but I don't like the file system.
Yeah.
The file system does nothing for me but infuriate me.
Well, that's where I'm sitting, but a couple more of these. I've got a couple of videos in the pipeline I want to work on.
Yeah.
And once I get my camera thing a little better straightened out for actual doing videos that I can upload.
Yeah. And that's how I was with that too. I had all my stuff, and I ran into an issue where things were not, absolutely just not clicking with my camera to work. And I had to wait until I could get some help from a couple guys. And once they helped me with those couple issues, oh my goodness.
And that's where I'm at with my DSLR. I have the Canon, and I realized I had to do some updates on the programming, so I
Yep.
worked through that. But it's just not clicking with Windows 10. So
You might be running the same problem I am. When you turn on StreamYard, is it just giving you that little thing where it says EOS web utility?
yes,
Okay, you know what you do? You know where the web utility is up on your screen?
yes.
Turn that off. As soon as you turn that off, wait about 5 seconds, and all of a sudden your camera will show up in StreamYard. That's all I had to do.
You're kidding.
No, that's it. That's it. I spent 3 weeks of live streams.
I've been working on that for a month.
3 weeks. That's the trick. You'll
So
see it
turn
up
it
there
off.
because once you plug your camera in, that little web
Yes.
utility pops up, and you're in StreamYard and you see the black screen with the white cord and the little red
Yeah.
X or whatever,
It has your microphone on
Yep.
one side and everything. Yep.
go click that web utility. Just click the X on the box. As soon as you do that, your camera feed will show up in StreamYard.
I don't know what to say because I've
It
been
it
so
blew my mind.
aggravated.
It blew my mind when that happened because the guys were like, "Oh, it's so easy. You're probably just doing something really stupid." I'm like, "I'm doing everything I'm supposed to do," and they're like, "No, you're missing something."
Well, I also want to use my DSLR to do some video,
Right.
and
Same with
I
me.
should be able to hook it up
hmm
and have it shoot video, and I save it to this laptop.
Right.
Yeah, that doesn't work. And so
Yeah.
I don't know what it is. I got an HDMI connection to it. So like I said, I don't know. I do know that I needed to do some updates, which I did to the where. And Bourbon, I haven't heard from Lava Man, period.
Yeah, he just disappeared. He's the one that helped me figure out that problem, by the way.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
He was-
Matter
he
of fact, I think it's been a week
With
since I've seen
Bourbon.
it.
Yeah, remember
Literally.
the last time any of us saw Lava Man is he went on that trip with Mike Stahl, bourbon hunting, and then he disappeared. Nobody's seen him since he went with Stahl.
No, we saw him. I saw him after that.
Did you? Because I haven't seen him since he went shopping with Stahl.
Yeah, no, I saw him after that. I just can't remember when, but it's been at least a week because he was on another chat.
Okay.
But all right, well, I'm going to call it a night, and I'm going to pop over and see Ken and chat with him for a little bit and
All right.
have a quick
Hey,
drink with him.
You are doing a great job. This was a great kickoff stream. So I hope you're happy with it.
Oh, I'm happy with it. Even Bourbon showed up, so if he showed up and actually listened to it, I feel good about it.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
If you can pass that test, you'll pass any of them.
That's awesome.
All right. Well, I appreciate it. Thanks
Yeah,
a lot,
for
Chris,
sure.
for Ben, all of y'all that are still here. I look forward to seeing you all again, and we'll have another Bourbon Neophyte Lounge coming up soon.
Awesome. Take care, Anthony. Thanks for having me out.
Thanks, bud. Peace.
Peace.